Alright, we're vibing. We're here. Maybe we started streaming. Not entirely sure. Let's see. Is it showing up on YouTube? I think I might be able... Let's see. Is it showing up? It is! Haha! Let me see. Can I update the thumbnail? Where is this? Hello, hello! Welcome, welcome! Let's see. Stream. I bet I close this. Chat. No. Hold on. Stream settings. Stream URL. Let's see. I'm gonna figure this out. Mark my words. I'm about to put a thumbnail on this stream and someone will be my witness. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Is that simple? Let's see. Content. Live. Edit. Customization. Close. No chat replay. No, we don't need replay. Subscribe. Anyone? Like commentary, analytics, details. There's gotta be a button for... There's the thumbnail button. Haha. Alright, hello everyone. I will be able to read in just a second. I am trying to put my first ever YouTube thumbnail on a Twitch stream. Or not a Twitch stream, a YouTube stream. So, we're learning, we're growing. That's the theme of the night, baby. Oh, let's see. I'm so close. I got it figured out. Hold on. I'm almost there. Ready? It is right. I think I found it. Yes. Okay. I think I did it. Okay, I think I did it. You'll have to let me know if you're here. Okay. Let's see. Let's meet a new lineup while people are chilling. Let's see. Oh, I see people are here. It worked! Woo! Perfect, just in time for me to get breakfast before tour starts. Let's go. Yeah, the tournament's gonna start at 7:30, so you got 15 minutes. Thank you for verifying that it worked. It's not the best thumbnail in the world, but you know what? I made it, and that's all that matters. As long as you get a little bit better each day, that's all we're shooting for. All right. On that note, I'm making an announcement to the people. I'm just being a dork at the Discord. Alright, I have fun. Oh, I'm gonna put the tournament link too. Let's do that. And then I will give everyone my full attention. Let's get this one specifically right. That way we got to show the good people our thumbnail that we worked so hard on in like 10 to 15 seconds. Let's see. Get shareable link. Boom. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, we're here. Okay. Am I playing today? I said I would do some coaching, so we'll definitely do that. How are people feeling? Are people excited about the format? Or what's going on, people? We have 15 minutes until we go live with the tournament. I'm gonna recruit a Pokemon. I have not gotten a Pokemon in a Special Ball or Shiny in forever, so I'm manifesting it right now. This is the manifestation. Thank you for the thank you for the follow, Super Daiken Kai. We're glad to have you. I'm going to be offering commentary today, so if you've ever been looking to improve as a player, I'm here to help. Obviously, everyone has something they can bring to the table, and I'm going to see what I can help with. Ooh, Arbok the Dozy or Mimikyu the Sociable. Also, I can't see what ball. A Great Ball? Ooh. Pokeball? We're getting the Dozy. We're keeping him. He's our little guy. We're gonna Dozy Snake today. Also, Super Daiken Kai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Are you playing in our tournament today? Or are you just a spectator? Let's see. Also, I'm going to share the tournament link if people want to join. I picked up the team in one Malaysia MBL, and I love it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh, that one. I thought you said you picked up a team and you won the whole event. But I'm glad that you're loving your team. That's awesome. All right, let's see. I'm posting. If you're on Twitch, I'm pinning the tournament link in the chat. So if you want to join, we still have 15 minutes till we go live. I'm happy you found a team that you're loving right now. Who's on the team right now? Vinix. I don't know how you pronounce. All right, Daikenkai, Daikenki. Okay, Daikenki. Samurot's Japanese name, and yeah, I'm Paparot. Oh, respect. Love that. Samurot's really good right now. My brother and I were playing with it on the ladder, and it was kind of going hard. Also, are we still tallying results, or are we... Let's see. I'm just curious. Yeah, we're still tallying results. I could do Pokebat, or Pokeball tier. No, I don't really want to. Not yet, anyway. Let me, here's what I'm going to do. How many people do we have in our tournament right now? We have 53 people registered. That's a lot of people. So I will be bouncing around. If you want to join in, if you want me to commentate your games, I'm going to create room codes. And people that are interested in that can reach out to their opponent and say, hey, we're going to meet in here and play your battles in there. And then I will, if you do that, I will prioritize your games first. Built a dumb Psy Spam team and running it with it this tournament. Let's go, Hunter Scott. As a Psy Spam believer, I'm right there with you. So, okay. Is it... I've seen a few variants of Psy Spam going around right now. I've seen, like, the fast Psy Spam, and I've seen the slow Psy Spam. So are you, like, Alakazam Meowstic, or are you, like, Oranguru Indeedee? Haven't made anything for Hisuian Rot for doubles. Was being stupid and got a win with base. You know what? I respect that. Oh, jeepers, I forgot to do my dailies today. I think Megazom and Meowstic is the better of the two. You would think so, but I was doing some research on tournaments online, and there was a result, like a decent result with Oranguru Hat, because you can do, like, you get Trick Room up, right? Whatever. But then you can do Expanding Force, Instruct Expanding Force, so... Slow using Trick Room. Okay, well, we need, like, a battle of the brains here. We need, like, someone going fast, someone going slow to see which one's doing better. Also, it's good to see so many people are feeling it today. I'm happy. I'm happy to see that Champions has got some steam in it. Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously, okay. As someone that their best result ever is with fast Psy Spam, I think it's real. Hi, man. I've been using Liepard. I could use your opinion. Yeah, Liepard. I think that that's a Pokemon that is slept on. I think that it's weird because, like, Liepard's stats are kind of underwhelming, and it's like you could use Sableye and then you're immune to Fake Out, and you still have Fake Out. It really just depends on the team combination. Like what your team is going to depend on whether Liepard's better or Sableye's better, or if there's a use case for both. So. I think Liepard is real, but I think I would need to know more about the entirety of the team to make a full judgment on that. Also, right now we have 53 people registered for our tournament. If you're on Twitch, you can see the link is pinned right now, and you can still join 11 minutes before we start. But on top of that, we have only 33 people have checked in and put their team sheet. So if you have not done both, make sure you do so. Also, I'm going to publish this. Boom. It's been working so well, not gonna lie. That's awesome. I mean, if someone who knows Seven, if you share the team with us in the Discord, I can look at it and I can tell you what I think about it more. Played a team with Liepard and Diggersby on ladder today. Okay, that's cool. Maybe it was the same person. Maybe you ran into someone who knows Seven. With that said, Diggersby. Okay, so like I think that the funny Diggersby strategy is combining it with Runerigus, so that you can pass you like. I think it's Earth. Okay, I'm pretty sure that. Okay, no, I know what it is. It's Scarf U-turn on your Diggersby or Brutal Swing, and they used to have weakness policy, which is not an item in the game currently, but you'd pass Huge Power, which doubles your attack stat to the Runerigus, and then you just do big Earthquakes with your Runerigus, who has a lot of, like, physical defense. I got you, sadly not. Diggersby, though, I put it in VGC General. Okay, let me check it out. Alright, VGC General, someone officially... Alright, we are going to switch over, and we're going to look over this team, because we have 10 minutes before the tournament starts. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. It seems like I'm... So, do you delay your stream when you play it? I do normally delay my stream, but only like 10 to 15 seconds. So, in this tournament, I'm actually not You can't hear anything still? There you are. Okay, you can't hear now. Okay, so YouTube might have more of a delay. But yes, I do normally use a little bit of a delay. I'm not going to be playing in this tournament. This tournament, I'm going to be commentating all the people that are in this tournament. I'm going to talk about, like, what plays I felt were strong, what plays I felt like could, like, it's going to be just, like, on-stream commentating, but you're going to have someone's perspective that, like, is decent at the game. Like, I've gotten top 4 at a regional, so, like, I can officially say I'm pretty decent, you know? So if you're new to the game, this is a great place to start learning. It's zero pressure. It's 5 rounds of Swiss. There's no top cut. You can join. You can leave at any time. We do ask if you join late or if you are leaving early, make sure to drop because we want to make sure everyone has an opponent every single round. So the tournament's probably going to go to 10:30 to 11. Oh, so it'll be pretty quick. But yeah, it's a great place to practice. All right, let's look over this team real quick. All right, so we've got Liepard, Aegislash, Xerneas Jr., Aerodactyl Mega, Scovillain Mega, and Melodic. Okay, we've got Protect, Whirlpool, Life Dew, and Scald Melodic. So this is like the I pin you down, you do not leave Melodic. We've got Leech Seed, Scovillain. So right here, this is like a nasty defensive core of just being like, you don't get to do anything. We have Xerneas Jr., who's got Yawn. The only thing is, I do see some, like, anti-synergy with the Yawn and Scovillain. Like, you could have multiple status moves, and maybe it's like, hey, these two aren't normally coming together. We got Aerodactyl Mega with Taunt, Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat. Notably, no Tailwind, which is really interesting. Let me finish reading all these, and then I'll tell you what I think about this team. Right, King Shield, Iron Head, Poltergeist, Sacred Sword, Aegislash. And then to round it all out, you've got Protect, Fake Out, Copycat, Knockoff, Liepard. Okay, so my assessment of this team is it's a fantastic close sheet team because you don't know what they're using, and a lot of the things that this team are using are not standard. Like, yes, we see a lot of like these Leech Seed Scovillains, but we do not see a lot of Whirlpool Melodics. So You probably don't expect the Melodic to trap you. I mean, if you get Scovillain and Melodic in a good situation, they might just drain your team and like you get nothing for it. The no Tailwind Aerodactyl is kind of crazy because the thing is like you love Tailwind because if you could boost your I was gonna say your Xerneas, your bye Haley, your Sylveon's speed, that's really helpful. You do have Copycat on the Liepard, which can be used to like steal. Like, you can turn Trick Rooms off, you can use Tailwind. Like, there is a lot of fun stuff you can do with Copycat. I was going to say I feel like Copycat is the reason to run Liepard, but generally, a strategy people used to use with Liepard is you'd have Trick Room, and you'd use Copycat with... Oh, sorry, no, you'd use it with Dynamax. You'd use Max Guard Trick Room, and then click Copycat, so your Pokemon would essentially click Protect, and then since you couldn't copy Max Guard with Dynamax moves, you would then copy Trick Room, and then you'd automatically set Trick Room and take no damage on your, like, Hatterene. It's crazy for show. I could definitely see this getting wins on the ladder. It's not conventional, and that plays... It can be a strength and a weakness for it. So I see a lot of good and a lot of difficulty in this team. Like, if you know how to pilot it, I'm sure you're getting wins with it, though. I think it would probably have a harder conversion rate to on-cart tournament best of 3, but like for the ladder, that is a team, and that is something that you should respect, or that is something that you could definitely get wins with. Okay, we have about 5 minutes until the tournament starts, so if you are playing today, make sure you submit those team sheets. We have, let me check, 38 people are ready. We have 56 registrations though, so there are a few people that have not got all their stuff in. I am going to go over to our tournament page and I will show you who is in and who is not. I'm one of the people that's not in because today I'm just going to be commentating. I'm excited to use my team. It's definitely unconventional. This is the place to play unconventional teams, though. How would it be better to transfer it over for tournament play? That's a good question. I think generally the more standard sets you'd see do better in tournament because, like, Tailwind is just a strong move, right, on Aerodactyl. It doesn't matter if you see it or not. It's a strong option. When you have things like Copycat Liepard, it's less tricky. Like, it's also important to think that the environment of the game right now is you have a lot of seasoned players that are kind of doing, like, high ladder stuff, and you have a lot of players that are learning the game, like, all together. And, like, there's going to be a bunch of great players that come out of this. Those newer players are probably getting sauced by your Liepard. They're like, I have no idea what this thing does. And that's a great thing, because even at high levels of play, people won't see that coming necessarily. Like, the best performance I ever had was with Exeggutor, and it was in a format where Exeggutor wasn't really strong, and even the high-level players knew what it did, but they didn't know to what extent it could do. They didn't expect it to be as fast as it was. So, yeah, so with that said, how would I change your team? Let me look at it one more time, and then I can talk a little bit more about it. I think that I would change this Yawn on Sylveon to just either, like, okay, it's hard to say without having played it. Right now you have Scovillain, which is like this crazy good redirector, right? But you don't really have a Pokemon that like sets up to get advantage of that redirection. Like, usually Scovillain teams have like an Archaludon, which is just kind of pestering everybody, or something where it's like a Scissor, where it's like, oh, I clicked Swords Dance next to it. I also think, like, I mean, I like this Melodic. The thing is like, it's hard to say what to do to just make this team definitively better, because it clearly has strengths already. Also, I see I got a new subscriber in PSN. Thank you so much, and I think I just heard a new follow too. Let me check. Oh, no, it was a subscriber PSN. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've had some serious success with Empoleon lately. Also, hi, Cyclops. Welcome. This thumbnail seems to be working, because, like, people are here on YouTube, which is, like, normally it's Twitch is the more active one, but we're YouTube gaming right now. So if you would like to have coaching, if you'd like to like get better at the game, we are hosting a tournament in the next 2 minutes. It's not a tournament that has a top cut. It's going to be 5 games and then it's done. Doesn't matter how well you did. You could lose all 5. You get to play 5 games no matter what, and the name of the game is practice. And I'm going to be hosting a room inside of the Discord. I will give the code to people. And anyone that wants their game potentially streamed, just enter that group. And yeah, it's not guaranteed I'll get you because I'm only one person and I'm gonna watch a whole set. But yeah. Also, okay, let's see. I've been messing around with Aromavale teams. Any thoughts from the group? I think Aromavale is real. I think like, well, okay, here's the thing. Let me make sure. Aromavale is the ability to block. Is it? It's sleep, right? Because there's Aromavale and the other Veil is it blocks status moves, right? Or like from. Okay, no, Aromavale is the one that blocks like Encore and stuff. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. I think it's strong. YouTube is so much greater than Twitch. Crazy. Incineroar works wonders. Yes, in open sheet, Incineroar works wonders. Wait, what's it on? It's on Limitless. If you, I'm trying to see. I don't know how to add the link in the YouTube. Let me. I'm obviously I'm new to streaming, so I'm trying to figure out how to do all of this. So let me. If you go to Limitless and you type in Pokepel Smackdown 141, actually, here's just the link up here. We have a Discord. I can share the Discord on Twitch. I have yet to explore how to share it on... what's it called? Oh, thank you so much for the subscribe, Soren. I greatly appreciate it. Let me see. YouTube's popping off. Apparently thumbnails are real, guys. Who would have thought? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to open up another tab. And let's see, is it over here? Okay, cool. I'm going to see if I can add this to the YouTube chat right now. I'm playing, maybe we can get first round. Let's see, well, hopefully. Someone's getting first round. It's just gonna be whoever gets in my little thing. That's the link. Oh, can you guys, did the Discord link post across all the socials? To the Limitless page. Let's see. Let me get it up for you guys. Let me see. We're going to control room. Like, close. Okay. Here's the Discord. You can get information there. Let me get the tournament link as well. Here's the tournament link. I will give people a few minutes because it looks like we've got a lot of YouTube people that want to join in just a second. So I say more. This is not a less is more situation. This is a more is more situation. So let's get as many people in here as we can. Get good practice for everyone, right? So we're going to give everyone another like 5 minutes. All right. Yep, we're giving people 5 minutes to join the tournament. So we're gonna start at 7:35. Yeah, it's okay. 7:35 is when the tournament starts. No winners though. There is a winner. It's just you have to go 5-0 basically. That's just how it's gonna like shake out. We have a winner, and in the Discord every single week we post a Hall of Fame. So if you win the tournament, you get a flare. You get a little. Like, I say bragging rights, but the whole point of our community is, like, help each other grow, like, build each other up. So it's, like, bragging rights in the sense where it's, like, we just shout you out, you know? It's like, hey, you're cool. You got the win. So, let's see. Thank you, South. You're welcome, North. I got you. Wait, so we're going to be playing the tournament on Champions. How does it work? The way that this works is we play the tournament on Champions. I am going to host a room. People can join the room. Let me actually talk through it on this Limitless page. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to pull up a previous Limitless tournament so that you guys can see, right? Tournaments I've completed. This is going to be the 141st, right? So what's going to happen is you guys are going to be paired into each other. So for like this one, Alt Kyle fought Trey. You're going to see who your opponent is. They just like message each other the room code. Bada boom, bada bing. They match into each other and then they play their games. You record who wins and then it pairs you into the next person after everyone else finishes their games. And if you've never done this before, you can stay live with me and I'll talk you through the whole situation. I'm not gonna be playing this week. I usually alternate between playing and commentating, so you'll get a little bit of like behind the scenes commentary on this one. Not so much like me being like, this is what I'm doing in this situation. But yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So, do you think I should run Tailwind on Arrow to fix it for OTS? I think that I think Tailwind's really strong, but my rule of thumb generally is if I'm joining a tournament and I'm like, oh, I think this would be really, really good in its last minute, stick with Comfort, because you know how your team works. I think that, like, maybe you go and you play like a week with you play a week and you're like, hey, this week I'm trying out Tailwind and it ends up being good. And then you're like, okay, next week I'm going to bring Tailwind to the tournament. Thanks, Kurt Rocks, for the sub. Greatly appreciated. You guys make me feel so loved. I love it here. Okay, so full disclosure, I was having a rough day today. I was like, I don't know if I've got it in me to stream today. I was like, but I got to do it for the people. And then I come here, everyone's giving me love. It's just a great time, so I really appreciate it. Well, of course, I just mean for the future. Yeah, for the future, I think you should try Tailwind. It's kind of the reason people run Mega Aerodactyl, because your Tailwinds are so fast that it's like, it doesn't matter like how fast they are, you're going to outspeed them. Like, max speed Jolly Aerodactyl, Mega Aerodactyl outspeeds Scarf Basky Legion, which is just crazy. Are we starting soon? We're starting in 1 minute. So I made an account and registered. Now what? In 1 minute, we will start the tournament. Make sure you click on your dashboard. I'll show you on this page. You're going to click your dashboard, and on the tournament, it should say, oh, hold on, let's see. It should say submit team sheet. I generally take my team sheets from Showdown and paste them in here. So like, if we had this team sheet, like I'm not using this today, you would just copy the whole thing, paste it in there, and then click submit. There is an issue with, it says do not submit the mega form of Pokemon. So like Aerodactyl, we would just change this, and Scovillain, we would just change this. And then it would say submit, and then that would be the team I'm using. I am not using this team today. I'm actually not playing in the tournament today. I'm actually going to drop myself out in just a second, but we are about to start. So make sure you get those tournaments in, and if you're joining late, that's okay, because what's going to happen is we are just going to, if you miss the first round, you can still join in for the second round. So let me see, tournament. I'm going to edit participants. I'm going to drop myself because I cannot play today because I am going to be streaming today. And then we're going to rock it together. And it's going to be a great time, everybody. It is 7:36, so it is time to start the tournament. I am sorry. You guys are okay. If it's on Champions, do I have to make the team, like, really quickly? It is on Champions, so yes, you would have to make the team really quickly. You will not be able to play in the first round, realistically, because it's time to start. We have 52 people ready to go, so we're starting our tournament. And yeah, that's going to be it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to announce in the Discord. Let's see. Tournament round updates. Yeah, tournament round update. Round 1 is up. And what I'm going to do too is we are going to try this out where I'm going to go into my room code. And are you able to watch the matches? Oh yeah, baby. We watch the matches. We got you. We're going to be commentating the matches and offering constructive criticism. So here's what I do recommend though. If you are being streamed, I recommend you mute me, because you don't want me in your ear bugging you, telling you what's what. You don't want your opponent to, also thank you so much for the sub, Tidge Live, greatly appreciated. But basically Tidge is the greatest. Well, you guys are all great. Tidge is literally family. I gotta give a shout out. Let's see. Okay, what I was saying though is I'm going to make a room. I'm going to have some people in the room, and if I'm commentating you, literally family. If you're in the room, what's going to happen is I'm going to commentate, and you want me on mute, so then when the stream is over, you can go back and watch it and be like, okay, this is what I was missing out on, this is what I could have done differently, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to post the room code, and you're going to tell your opponent to meet you in the room. We can only have 8 people in the room, I believe, so if you don't get into this room, you're just gonna pair into a different room with your opponent. Let's see, the room code is going to be... And if this doesn't work, what's gonna happen is I'm just going to invade rooms, because that's what I've done in the past, but it feels like tournaments are kind of growing, so if we have to, I will just jump to you, because I have the power to do that too. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting a personal message. If you... How's Roundfellow doing? Roundfellow's been doing well. I had like a 7-game win streak last time I played. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna start with Slim Willies, and whoever Slim Willy get the lie part on stream. Potentially, if they're in the room and they're paired with their opponent correctly, we might be able to get lie part on stream. Okay, let's see. Also, if you're joining the tournament late, that's totally okay. We accept late registration. There's 5 rounds of Swiss, so win or lose, no matter what, you can keep playing. This is all about practice. Do I have to post the team from PokePaste? Generally, that's the best way to do it, yes. You don't have to do it that way, but it converts it for you, so it's pretty nice. We do have this one is ready to go, so I was saying Slim Willy, but maybe we'll start with Zach. Zach versus Hannah, we're going to start with you guys. We're going to watch at least a game. Court 2 is ready, so we're going to check out Court 2. All right. So let's look at the teams. All right. Generally, in this situation, this is information that I have behind the scenes. Let's see. This is Hannah? Let me see if I can find... Okay, one thing that does become chaotic is, since I'm not jumping into rooms, which I might do next game, I don't know who this is. So I can't check open team sheets. With open team sheets, it changes how this game is played a lot, because generally in this phase of the tournament, right now you're looking at their team and you're saying, this answers this is how I'm going to beat this. So the information game is like the biggest part. I'd say that this part of the game right here, the team select, is like 40% of the battle. Court 1 is starting. We'll come to you right after this game concludes. We'll come to you. Instead of doing the full best of 3, we're going to get 1-1s, okay? All right, Big Mouse. All right, so we got Farigiraf Kangaskhan versus Venusaur Archaludon. So notably, Kangaskhan and Farigiraf is a really strong lead because if you've played it before in ladder, you probably know Kangaskhan can fake you out. It does not matter about speed tiers because they can't be faked out in return because of the armor tail. Right now, Venusaur and Archaludon, generally Venusaurs on rain teams tend to be Mega Venusaurs, so it's like a bulkier Pokemon. So both Pokemon kind of are threatened by fake out. Yep, we see Venusaur Mega, and it looks like we don't see any switches here. The idea here might be, generally, actually, Mega Venusaurs don't tend to carry Sleep Powder. But I think the idea here is like, hey, we can get some fake outs, we can make sure Trick Room goes up, and the real carry on Hannah's team is probably going to be that Torkoal or Hatterene. Wait, how do I join the room? The room code is in the Discord. Okay, so we see fake out come into Venusaur, and we see Archaludon throw out a Dragon Pulse. It's going to do decent damage into Farigiraf, but it will not take it down. It's going to do a little bit less than half, and Farigiraf is going to get Trick Room, which means Hannah's strategy is now moving further and further towards what they want to have happen. Venusaur is a very bulky Pokemon, but that fake out did do a lot of damage. Now the question is, how are these Pokemon trained? Because generally, Kangaskhan is a faster Pokemon than Venusaur, but on these Trick Room teams, you tend to see them trained with more bulk so they can survive longer, and also they get to be slower, which means they get to attack you first in Trick Room. I wouldn't be surprised to see to see Pelipper switch in here, but the thing is as soon as Pelipper comes in, Torkoal's going to look like a lot stronger of a switch in. So there's kind of this unspoken mind game happening. I sent the team list on Discord. You're the best, Z-King. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me see. And we see Helping Hand, so this Farigiraf is saying, it's time to destroy. Big Double Edge. I think that'll be the end of Venusaur. Yep, goodbye Venusaur. And now we see Sableye is coming in. That was a very effective first turn of Trick Room. They only take a little bit of recoil for their troubles. Honestly, if Venusaur switched in on that Sableye, that would have been a big play, because it would have gotten them 0 mileage. But now we see Archaludon next to its little gremlin friend. I keep meaning to make a team and join one of the tournaments, but I always forget, LOL. It totally happens, don't worry. We do it every Monday. Man, so I talk to my brother about it all the time, and he's always like, "Oh, I forgot," and I'm like, "It's every Monday," but don't worry about it. It's all for fun. Okay, so let's go tourney time. It is tourney time. All right, so Sableye is a really strong Pokemon to bring into this team specifically because generally, let me verify, generally Sableyes on rain teams run Rain Dance, and this one does, which means that no matter what, if Torkoal switches in, Rain Dance is always happening. So we see Rain Dance comes in, and it's probably safe to assume that we're going to see Electro Shot from Archaludon and possibly Drain... Oh, Crunch. Never mind. Crunch. It's not enough to pick up Sableye, but here the Archaludon is now online. Here comes the first Electro Shot. And I'm betting it's firing into Farigiraf. Because as soon as Farigiraf's gone, it's going to mean that the Sableye can now use its priority moves. Farigiraf does survive. It gets a little snack on that citrus berry. All right, and now the question is do you save Sableye and put everything on the shoulders of this Archaludon, or do you just let Sableye go down? Because we just saw that Big Mouse, the Kangaskhan, does underspeed Archaludon. And this Sableye, I do have access to the team sheet. It does not have an attacking move. So even though generally Sableyes are potentially the slowest Pokemon on the field right here, it can't threaten any damage, so... I'm in the room. Okay, Cyclops, we might be able to check you out next. Once this game is over, we'll jump to the next person. Alright, so... you can tell there's a lot of thinking going on here. It also wouldn't be a terrible play to just pivot Torkoal in here, because generally this Archaludon wants to keep clicking Electro Shot. They switch in Pelipper. Let's see if they switch it. Okay, no, they just go for a Protect. They say, you know what, my Farigiraf is just too crucial here. Big Mouse goes for another Crunch. I started getting my Pokemon fixed by collecting recently. That's how the bug gets you, Tidge. That's how they get you. Okay, so we see Electro Shot come off. Is it going to fire into Kangaskhan, or is the idea just let's remove Farigiraf? They call the Protect. They fire into Kangaskhan. It's not enough to remove it, but honestly, we might be getting to a position where removing Kangaskhan could be even worse. Wait, so how do I get in a battle? Do I just wait? The way you get into a battle is you pair into your opponent. Hold on. On the sheet. Okay, it depends. Did you join the tournament before or after it started? If you started after, you're gonna have to wait until the next round, realistically. Okay, so we got to Protect here. Archaludon protects. Pelipper protects. We are stalling the final turn of Trick Room, and we're changing the momentum. All right, Hammer Arm does not connect onto Archaludon. And, okay, so Trick Room is a very strong offensive mode, and it like controls the speed stats of the battle, but now that it's over, all the Pokemon on Hannah's side of the field are really slow. And because Archaludon's been able to get a few boosts, like, yeah, it feels like all the momentum was slipping out of the first trainer's hands, but now it's like, hey, Trick Room's over. How are you going to deal with me? All right, we see Farigiraf Protect. I'm imagining we just see two attacks come out here. Weather Ball into Farigiraf. We see Pelipper is faster than Archaludon, and we see a Flash Cannon follow-up. All right, Big Mouse goes down. It's a critical hit. It realistically did not matter. Archaludon has multiple boosts up. But one thing to keep in mind is if Torkoal's in the back, it's going to be a really, really difficult Pokemon to remove for these two Pokemon. Here comes Glinda, and that is Hatterene. Okay. I didn't start collecting physical cards until recently because I'm broke, but I eventually gave in. I completely get it. I haven't collected physical cards in a minute, but when you play the game, like, in person and you go to events, they just, like, they hand you out a lot of cards. So I do have a lot of cards. Okay. So we see Farigiraf switches out. They try and keep it for later, and guess who comes in? It is Torkoal. So the strong thing about Torkoal here is that if Archaludon went for Electro Shot, first of all, here's Weather Ball. If Archaludon went for Electro Shot, that is now going to be disabled. Let's see what they went for. Realistically, a Flash Cannon looks really strong into this Hatterene, and it is enough to pick up because of those Electro Shot boosts. But Pelipper's only attacking move right now is Weather Ball and Hurricane. And Hurricane's inaccurate. I still say that the battle is favored towards our trainer, but it's not over. Like a Helping Hand Heat Wave from Farigiraf could potentially swing the game in a big way. This is leftover stamina arch, and oh, there is no wide guard on this Pelipper. So the question here is like, hey, are we targeting down Farigiraf? Are we targeting down Torkoal? Because Pelipper does have Weather Ball, and it does have Hurricane, but those moves aren't going to remove Torkoal. And let's see. Okay, Hurricane does connect. Will this remove Torkoal? I spoke too soon. What I meant to say is Hurricane in the Sun is inaccurate. It is a 50% accuracy. And realistically, I believe that's enough to clinch the game for us. So, while both players played really, really well, our first trainer did stall out this Trick Room, and because of that, they were able to take the game. So, congratulations to our trainer, Little Potato 13. And this isn't the end of the set. They would go to another game, they would adapt. Normally, we would follow along with them, but right now, the goal is to be like, hey, let's check in on this team, let's give some feedback, and then let's jump to the other one. Oh wow, hit that Hurricane. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be bold with it. Sometimes you just gotta say, hey, I'm doing it. For now, I'm only collecting cards of my favorite mons, and I stick to battling on PC. Oh, yeah, Pocket's fun. Okay. So we're gonna check out Slim Willy and IDK Monkey, or Mikey. You don't have to worry about distracting me. Yeah, okay, battle just ended. Raw Hurricane hits feels better. Okay, the worst one I've ever had was there was a tournament where I was like, okay, I win this game as long as the Hurricane in the Sun does not confuse, and then I hit myself, and it happened, and I was just like, ugh. Okay, it says this battle's ended, but realistically, it probably only ended game 1, so we're probably going to game 2. I'm just gonna keep clicking it until it lets me in. Can I get into one of those slots? You can if your game has not already started. Like for the next, I'm going to close this lobby. I will create a new lobby when the next round of the tournament goes live. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna give them like 10 more seconds. Okay, no, they're gone. Or are they gone? I believe they're still in the room, so. Oh, Cyclops, if you're supposed to be playing your opponent, you can play your opponent. That's totally fine. Like we need this tournament to progress, so we can't wait for people. It's like the tournament's got to be going. I see Palumba, or I see Sacred Fire is spectating. Did they already finish their set? Oh yes, they did. Okay. This is IDK Monkey. He FF'd after game 1. Okay, that happens. You know what we're gonna do is we're just going to finish watching this set because we get to watch a best of 3 then. So what do I do? Cyclops, did you pair into your opponent on Limitless? Also, okay, also this game has been moving since we haven't been here. Sableye is down, Rain is up, Torkoal is in position. It does not look like Trick Room is up. So the reason they're pivoting Torkoal out here is in order to get back control of the weather. They're called Weather Wars because generally they go back and forth a lot. Alright, Kangaskhan is Mega Evolving. It is in the rain. We've seen that Kangaskhan is really slow, which means it's really bulky. So I imagine it could probably survive one of Basket Legion's wave crashes in the rain. We will see how much health does it have. It does survive with 8 health. Is it slower than... It's got to be slower than Pelipper because Pelipper outsped Archaludon. So that's something to keep in mind when you're playing your game, is remembering who's faster than who. That was a huge crit, does a lot of damage to Melodic. We see Double Edge. Double Edge is actually going to pick up the Pelipper, but it's also going to remove the Kangaskhan. And the craziest part about this is that is actually probably a good move, because what happens is, now that Pelipper's been removed, Torkoal gets back onto the field, and Torkoal gets back onto the field in Sun, and this Basket Legion is going to be a fish that's dry, fish on dry land. It's going to be in a really compromised position here. This is Mystic Water Basket Legion, which does mean that it has the ability to change its moves. Ooh, the question is though, like, can they remove that Farigiraf? Like, the answer is yes, but if Torkoal comes in, there's like a lot of mind games at play here. Like, you want to click Electroshot into this Melodic, but if Torkoal comes in, it'll shut the Electroshot off. 8 HP is all it takes to win the weather set. Yeah, that's true. It's all it takes. If you live on 8 HP, you can win the weather war. So Cyclops, if you have you joined our tournament, Cyclops? All right, Torkoal does come back in. Let's see if an Electroshot is attempted here. All right, we see Last Respects into the Torkoal. It's going to do big damage. It's going to just remove Torkoal. Yes, the Weather War's been won, but at what cost? Especially if this Archaludon fires off an Electroshot, it's actually, you know what? We're going to see Trick Room go up. But, like, can Archaludon even be stopped by these two Pokemon? It's oh, wait, there's... Okay, so Torkoal's down, Kangaskhan's down, which means that it's just Milotic and Farigiraf versus Basculegion and Archaludon. Wait, I haven't registered it and I submitted the team, but it says I didn't submit the team, so what do I do? The round hasn't ended, so what I would do is I would refresh. I would make sure that your team is submitted. And I mean, I haven't checked in yet. I would check in. So go to your dashboard. And then when you're on your dashboard, you should be able to just, like, click check-in. Let's see. Okay. So, hi, all. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Bienvenido. It's pretty cool that each week the YouTube viewership has doubled. It's small but rapid growth. Yeah, we're here for it. It's crazy. I think that thumbnail mattered. All right, Ice Beam. Thanks. So now what do I do? Let's see. What is your Limitless name? B-I-V... Okay. B-I-V-Ni Edamon. B-I-V-N Edamon. Welcome, B-I-V and Edamon. Glad to have you. All right, Milotic does survive the Last Respects, which is really important, but the thing is, Milotic in the Sun doesn't generally do a lot of damage, so... Archaludon is... got 1/3 of its health remaining, Basculegion's at half. Yeah, we could probably remove Basculegion, but it's still looking pretty rough. My Sprigatito AR just came in. Nice. Alright, we see Helping Hand here. What is Milotic going to do? We see big sun, Muddy Water in the Sun. I don't think it's going to remove either Pokemon, because the sun cuts the damage in half, but we love the effort. All right, Cyclops, let me see. Are you in Cyclops? I'm checking on the internal side, so give me 1 second. Electroshot fires off. Bye-bye, Milotic. Participants. It says you're not officially in yet, Cyclops. Thank you, Pokemag. I made it in 15 minutes, so I'm glad it's doing its job. Okay, and that's the end of that game. So Rain conquered Sun in this game. Honestly, it was a pretty tough matchup. That Archaludon was pretty hard to deal with. Something to note is, like, if you're not changing Pokemon, you could either position the Torkoal differently, or, well, it's hard because they also have Sableye. That's a really hard matchup. I feel like having, like, a really strong fighting type Pokemon, or a really strong ground type Pokemon to deal with the Archaludon might be good, or Redirection, so that way you can be like, hey, I don't have to deal with Archaludon right now. I can have my Pokemon, like, just kind of take a hit and then just get the momentum swung in my favor. Especially because with Redirection on a Trick Room team, you can choose to intentionally have one of your Pokemon go down, and then when that Pokemon goes down, you can bring in 2 offensive Pokemon. So, like, having Hatterene set Trick Room next to a Redirector, Hatterene sets Trick Room, Redirector goes down, 2 offensive Trick Room Pokemon come in. Arch is so annoying for a lot of team compositions. It's annoying for mine, yeah. Do I play Pocket? I do play Pocket, Tidge. If you message me later, I will give you my information. Austin and Matt also play it. I pressed join late, so that means I have to wait for the next round. That is correct. I can't see your screen, but as long as it says you're in, you should be in. Let me see. Cyclops, you are in. I see you now. So you will be in on the next round. So we don't have anyone in here, but what we can do is we can jump into another lobby because everyone else in here is good to go. They finished all their sets. So we are going to check out another set. We're going to check out Snorkel GG. Let's see if they're still playing. It looks like they are. So I'm going to hop into one of their lobbies, which might be, it could be the way to go because I feel like it was a little more chaotic having people come to me because I feel like, I don't know. Okay. Wait, lobby code didn't work. Did they change it? We're going to try one more time. 0164935. Yes, okay. We're jumping in. Things to note about these teams is Snorkel is running a... Let's see. Snorkel is running a Trick Room team with a Mental Herb Slowbro and Araquanid, Klotzer, Blastoise. So we have a... we just saw a Sun Trick Room team. This is a Rain Trick Room team. And the other team is running Mega Drampa. So we see Mega Drampa has already gone down, and so is Mimikyu. We see that Mamoswine is currently facing off against Araquanid and Farigiraf. Notably, this Araquanid does not have Wide Guard. Okay, so we'll have to see. Zarina comes in. Zarina does have access to the move Trop Kick, which lowers attack, and notably this... Oh, this is a Choice Scarf Zarina. So whatever it locks into, it's locked into for the rest of the game, which is really difficult because we're inside a Trick Room. So it's like, yeah, you have 2 turns, but I don't know if Zarina's even making it through 2 turns. Okay, that's some interesting Mon picks. Yeah, in this tournament, we get a lot of interesting choices. I don't think I've ever asked you who's your favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Togekiss, and Exeggutor is definitely in the top 5. Let's see. Okay, so let's look over what these Mons have. Okay, so this is a Leech Life, Liquidation, Bug Bite, Protect, Mystic Water, Araquanid. So realistically, it's probably taking a KO into either of these Pokemon. Okay, that's a Focus Sash, NastyBig.com. And also, they're probably getting followed up with a Hyper Voice or a Twin Beam. Yep. So there goes Mamoswine. Now everything is on the shoulders of this Zarina. I wish Togekiss was back in the mix to use. Oh my gosh, you don't even know. I've been like losing sleep crying over my boy not being in this game. What do you think about my team if you get a minute to look at it? My name is Shiny Macaroni 1 on Limitless. Would love to hear your thoughts. Been working on it for a few days. Yeah, okay, well that game just ended, so I will check out your team, Shiny Macaroni. Let's see. Alright, Shiny Macaroni. Okay, so you got Farigiraf, Torkoal, Sylveon, Rhyperior. Okay, Lucario and Hisuian Zoroark. Honestly, it looks like a really strong team. It's kind of chaotic. Your speed control is definitely the Farigiraf. I do like Farigiraf combined with Lucario. Like, that's your, like, really strong offensive piece. I do feel like your team could... Actually, I was going to say could have trouble into Bastia Legion. But the thing is, your Farigiraf in the Sun probably deals with that pretty well. Togekiss has been missing for too long from VGC. Truth. I'm manifesting every seasonal change. We're adding Togekiss back in. Regulation MB, he's going to be there, trust. Yo, if I get on stream, you'll love my art set. With you, Crocodile, I never... I'm worried. Like, I'm concerned. Okay, we have... let's check out another game. I'm going to someone you know always cooks. They're a regular in PokePals. Trey, he's always got something cooking up, so let's see what he's up to. Oh, you got no rain? You got that arch with no rain? You got that dry bridge? Wait, oh, the date changed. I can't believe we have dry bridge in 2026. Let's see. Let's see. Battle. Okay, private battles. Enter 01969594. Alright, cool. I've seen you win like 3 tournaments with that set. Crocodile's crazy. They're a great player. Alright, good morning. It's a new day. Yeah, exactly. The sun shines on our new day. It's up to 4 now. You've won 4 tournaments with the dry bridge. We'll have to check it out later. Okay. So we see that this is Trey, who is running the Mega Feraligatr. It's good to see him. Versus the, I'm assuming it's Hard Trick Room with Mega Golurk team. Fergraph and Hydreigon have already been taken out. There's one last turn of Trick Room and Sun happening. And then we get to see the return of the Gator. Corviknight and Incineroar are both looking pretty low here. The question is this the first turn that Tribridge? Is this the first turn that Incineroar's entered the battlefield? Yo, Mega Gator team is fire. Mega Feraligatr looks so good here. Okay, it was, so we do get to see a fake out. Don, he gets flinched. He instructs, does he go through the flinch? I'm so curious. No, he doesn't, okay. That's so funny. All right, we see a body press. It does very little damage, but you know what? Oh my goodness, actually, this might be bad because we might see another Trick Room get up because I don't know if these two Pokemon have the damage in the tank to remove this for Oranguru. Let me check what kind of Oranguru it is. This is a Colbur Berry, so it's going to resist a Dark-type move. So realistically, I don't think that they get to bring in the Trick Room's going back up, but it is no Sun Turtle. So if that's a healthy Feraligatr in the back, I think that Trey might have this, but all the Pokemon are so low, it could go either way. Someone got Dewabafet on the phone for that interaction. Yeah, we needed to get I should have clipped that. Oh, I missed that. It's just so sad. I wasn't gonna be surprised if the mechanic was glitched and Torkoal got to move. Yeah, me neither. All right, so we see the Protect. Let's see where our Pokemon are targeting. We see a second body press into Project Pat. Critical hit. Is that enough to bring it down within Throat Chop range? Colbur Berry comes out. Punches him in the throat. It's not enough. Project Pat says, you know what? We're going right back under. Oh, we got the clip. If nobody got me, Razor got me. Thank you, Razor. Empo, my goat, has come through so far. That's awesome. I'm assuming that's Empoleon, but I'm not sure. When am I going to be able to play? We have 17 out of 26 sets completed. They're all about to finish probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'd imagine, Cyclops. Yeah, Empoleon, love that. Okay, I think it's real. Like, it's one of the only competitive... Oh, body press! This Torkoal's about to sit on both of them. I think it's instruct the body press. All right, Throat Chop, it lives! He says, go sit on him again. All right, here comes another Torkoal. I love how they've animated body press to just be like, "Er." Okay. Now, the big question on everyone's mind is, how much health does this Feraligatr have left? Body press. There have been 3 body presses fired off in that turn. Let's see. I mean, actually, you know what? As long as Trey's Feraligatr has Aqua Jet, which probably does, it should be game. Okay, the battle ends. We don't even get to see Feraligatr, but just know he's out there. If you're in this tournament, there is a Gator lurking in the shadows. Dang, Torkoal really sat on Incent. It really did. Oranguru probably can't even get through the Corvi, though. Probably not. Probably not. But, I mean, Corviknight had low health, too. Torkoal off the top rope. I love that. And then the bird sat on him. Yeah. Okay, let's see. That concludes set number... Oh, 24 out of 26 matches. So, get ready, because we have 2 sets left, and then this first round is done. So if you are looking to play, you will be playing very shortly here. Let's see. I had you muted, so I didn't see chat was watching. It was a very close game. Yeah, we were like, oh, we're going to get to see the Gator, and then it disconnected. We just came in at the tail end of that one, Trey. Torkoal off the top rope has me crying. Yeah, that one got me too. We got disconnected. Okay. 1599630 8. What a slam. Alright, we're joining Mr. Awesome. Alright, maybe we'll see another for Alligator. Who knows? Okay, I can tell you what they have. Mr. Awesome has Mega Venusaur with a snow team, and then okay, it's having us join at the weird angle. And then this is a Mega Charizard Y team. So there are 3 Gators in this tour. There are many Gators in this tour. It could happen at any moment. You could get Gatored. The way you're doing that is actually really cool. Is the way I'm doing what? Just jumping into things. This is where I'm trying to give you the full tournament experience to see like what are people playing, what's going on. All right, so we see Kamoa fire off a big Clangorous Soul. We don't see a Mega from either Venusaur or Charizard. I guess the idea here is like, hey, I can call that you're gonna bring in your Frostlass and I'll hold the Mega. For Alligator, Skeletors, and Crocodile on the same team. All right, so we land a Sleep Powder into Incineroar. But the thing is, we just saw how much damage that Clangorous Soul did. Let's see. We can check with open team sheets. Is this a overcoat Kamoa? It is not. It is soundproof. So if this is Mega Charizard Y, which we do know it is, and this is Chlorophyll Venusaur, it can go faster and it can outspeed with the sun up, and it will connect to Sleep Powder. But then we have weird mind games at play where it's like, I could bring in my Frostlass next turn. Also, wait a second. Never mind, he's been burned. What am I talking about? It feels sacrilegious that I haven't used Mega Gator. That does feel a little rough, Crocodile, that you haven't done it yet. They love the weird angle when first joining. They do love it. Yeah. We've got Trey Irwin in the chat. The Steve Irwin, yeah. Okay, so we see Mega. At least you can stick some damage with your Venusaur. The question is, will Mega Charizard now have the special defense to survive? With Helping Hand, that should be enough to just remove this Kamoa, right? I'd have to imagine. Here comes a big old Sludge Bomb. It's not! Ugh, it's looking rough. Here comes a big Clanging Scales. Both Pokemon go down. And now you only have the 2 Pokemon in the back, which we have seen one is Basculegion. Is it a Scarf Basculegion is the question. It is. Incineroar wakes up, launches a parting shot into the abyss. The blessed burn. Yeah, sometimes you want to get burned, so you're in situations like this. All right, wait, is this the last match of round 1? Realistically, this is probably the last match of round 1. I'm really dedicated to using Mega Frostlass. That's a strong Pokemon, so it's good to be dedicated to it. All right, so both Pokemon are in range of being picked up here by both Pokemon. Well, actually, not by both Pokemon. Incineroar can only be picked up by Basculegion. Kamoa is kind of in this weird spot where, like, yes, it can be picked up by Kingambit, but, like, realistically, it also is a pretty free switch out for Kamoa if it chooses to. Because, like, the only way you pick up with Kingambit is by clicking Sucker Punch. And if you just don't attack, then you get to get out. So, Helping Hand is super cool Zard tech. I think it is, yeah. Generally, Zard is your sweeper, but it is cool to have an option. All right, Sucker Punch comes out. They decide, you know what? If I can swing with Kamoa, I'm going to do it. Kamoa goes down. Also, realistically, we're probably locking into a Water move here. Water move in the Sun, Basculegion comes out, swings in a big way, removes this Incineroar. And the question is, who do we have remaining? Because if it is Aerodactyl, what kind of Aerodactyl are we looking at? We can use the power of Open Team Sheet to find out. It is Mega Aerodactyl. So the question is, Mega Aerodactyl would actually outspeed Scarf Basculegion. We are going to a 2v2. That Ninetales is the biggest blessing for this fish because it's going to remove that sun. And now the question is, how do we play this out from here? Because I'm imagining Wave Crash is going to pick off that Aerodactyl. You can use Tailwind to make it so all your Pokemon outspeed the opponent's Pokemon. But the thing is like, I don't think Freeze Dry is going to pick up this Basculegion from that range. Alright, so we're going to have to see how the players play it. You could always protect your Aerodactyl and go for Freeze Dry and then finish it off with a Rock Slide the following turn. But if you do that, then you're leaving your Ninetales open to being Kingambified. Let's see. Okay, so Aerodactyl protects. Alright, here comes the big Wave Crash. Ninetales does survive it. After that, Freeze Dry probably will pick up. We see Encore into the Sucker Punch. But the question is, can Ninetales survive a Sucker Punch from this range? I have to think inside of snow with the resist. It probably does. What kind of King Gambit is this? This is a Black Glasses King Gambit. So if there were a King Gambit to be able to pick this Ninetales off, it is this one. Alright, but here comes the Mega on Aerodactyl. Basically, Mr. Awesome is banking on the fact that Ninetales will survive this Sucker Punch in the snow, and that Freeze Dry will be enough to pick up this Basculegion. I think that that's the line that they have available to them. We're going to have to see how this plays out, though. No Gambit walls. Yeah, Gambit does wall. But here's the thing. We can get into a situation where we do have a 2v1 versus Gambit, though. Alright, here comes Sucker Punch. Is it enough? Ninetales does hang on. Alright, Aerodactyl, is it jolly? It is. It outspeeds the Basculegion. Or at least it's adamant and the Basculegion's adamant. But it is fast enough. That's all that matters. Okay, Freeze Dry comes out. It is enough to pick up this fish, and now we see a 1 versus 2 situation. Does this Ninetales have Disable? If this Ninetales has Disable as well, then this game is looking pretty over to me. But let's see. It does not. It has Encore Blizzard Freeze Dry. This is the last Pokemon you'd want to bring if you are Will. The fresh frozen fish. Yeah. The Filet-O-Fish has been delivered. Alright, so the question is, do you protect? Do you just stall out the Sucker Punches? Do you start swinging? Okay, so we see a protect. Where did we launch our Sucker Punch? We launch it correctly. Ooh, we can only take one more of those. Oh, gosh. Like, yeah, we got what we wanted, but at what cost? King Gambit does end its Encore. The question is what do we do here? Yeah, holy long game. I mean, if we can get into a situation where we can launch a Freeze Dry or a Blizzard, there is a chance for a freeze. But man, yeah, King Gambit just looking pretty strong here. I love that, like, he got encored into Sucker Punch and he was just like, sure, that's fine by me. How many turns correct does Mr. Awesome have to get in order to win this game? Because, like, I think it's a safe assumption you just encore this turn. All right, we see Tailwind again. We see Encore again. And is that the third Sucker Punch? This is a moment where keeping notes would be helpful, because if you don't know when Sucker Punch ends correctly, you're going to get slapped in the face. So this team is extremely Gambit weak. Yeah, it does have a really hard time into Gambit. Wait, might be a timer endgame. That is true. Time could be a factor here. There are 3 minutes and 10 seconds on Will's side. There are 4 minutes and 16 seconds on Mr. Awesome side, but we have not seen how much time is left in the battle. There is, I'm sure it says somewhere here. Oh, 10 minutes. I don't think it's a timer endgame. Gambit will run out of Sucker Punch PP, but then it cannot be encored. That is correct. As soon as Sucker Punch ends, as soon as they run out, they're free to select any other move. It does come down to encore timing. That is true. The question is can 8 Sucker Punch, or sorry, can 6 no, we've seen 3 already, right? Can 3 Sucker Punches? Oh, he calls it right again. He can't be stopped. And I think that's just gonna be game. King Gambit roars. Like, it was a good game by both players, but Will was able to just call it every single time. Where to go? How many people are playing in this tournament? This tournament, last time I checked, had 52 people in it. 53. But that is there's only one set that has yet to conclude, so I'm gonna go check in and make sure everyone is okay. Oh, this was the set. What happens for the timer? I know a game gives a draw, but I imagine there are no draws in tournaments. So in private matches, generally how it goes is it comes to the ratio of HP remaining for your team. So like if you have just Shedinja left, you're gonna have a bad time because Shedinja only has 1 HP. If you have like But I'm still not 100% certain on time. Like, I've had to play the time a few times. I used to think it was based on Mon count, like how many Pokemon you have remaining, but that's only if you have more than one extra Pokemon other than your opponent, I believe. Also, let me see. I believe that was the final set. We have one... Oh, yep, that's all of them. So we are going to go to the next round. That was a long first round. I am glad we all took the time to get through that, but we are now moving on to the final... Or not the final round, the next round of the tournament. All right. Let's see. All right, at tournament round updates, round 2 is up. All right, cool. And I'm going to enter a code, or sorry, no, I'm going to make a room. And I'm just gonna do the first 2 people that are officially part of a set that starts in here will be where I go. The stream code is going to be 22396180. So for the stream code. So if you want to play your match on stream, just message your opponent, be like, hey, I'd like to get a commentary for my set. Could we play in this? And then if they say yes, awesome. If they say no, that's totally their choice. Not everybody wants their game streamed. I will come invade people if nobody comes here. That's totally okay too. But it seemed like people that like want to get watched came in here. So we're going to do that again. All right. So we got... Let's see. While people are getting the... So now I just wait for my opponent to come in. Are you in the... Did you go to... Cyclops, did you go on your dashboard? Did you click a, like, round? Like, did you go to your round? Do you see your opponent right now? So you should be able to... Let me switch over my screen really quick. You should be able to go to... Let's find your Cyclops, right? Maybe I spelled that wrong. Okay, Cyclops, you are up against Mr. Awesome. So yeah, you're already here. So what you're going to do is there's going to be a check-in button. You'll just click check-in, and then you can tell your opponent what you want the room code to be. Oops. You're doing great. You're paired? Excellent. Okay. We have 7 out of 12 people in our room, so I will jump around. All right, we got Sacred Fire versus Dodge as our first set. These are 2 people I know. They're 2 people from my state, so I'm excited to check this one out. Okay, so Sacred Fire told me they had an interesting concept. So I think the concept here is we have Whimsicott plus Zarina. So it's like you cannot stop Whims. You cannot stop it. You have fast. Oh, you know what? Is this Sunny Day Whims? I gotta check this team sheet real quick. Let's see. Because I was kind of curious about whether Sun Boosted Delphox could be the call. Let's see if Steven was on a similar train of thought. They were on a different train of thought. They went Tailwind, Moonblast, Encore, and Taunt. There is double Taunt on this team. Steven says, good luck getting Trick Room up. I will never let that happen. And then Dash is running. I'm believing this is Mega Venusaur. I can check the team sheet. Give me 1 second. This is Mega Venusaur with Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Earth Power, and Protect. Mega Aerodactyl, Choppleberry Ensign, Fairy Feather, Quick Attack Sylveon, Sash Basculegion, and Leftovers, Clangorous Soul, Komodo. So we see Incineroar plus Aerodactyl lead, and we get followed up by what could potentially be the scariest Pokemon to see when Fake Out is not available. Hyper Voice from Primarina is going to be really scary, unless, does this Incineroar have Throat Chop? It does. One way to stop an opera singer is by throat chopping them. I'm glad to see you got paired, Cyclops. Okay. So realistically, is this Scarf Zarina is the next question. This is Akaberry Zarina. So it's resisting fire damage. So Zarina's actually, I thought this was a really strong lead for Sacred Fire, and I still think it is. Like, there is potential here. But the real question is like, what do you do if this Incineroar throat chops you? How do you take advantage of this situation? And Dodge is not the kind of player that's going to let this go unpunished. Never mind. Never mind, we see Fake Out come out, and we see Dual Wing Beat, and it misses! I say John's not this type of player, but like I just cast a curse the heck out of this. Alright, and the question is, does Sacred Fire play around the potential Throat Chop? They just go for the Hyper Voice. Oh my gosh, what a turn. What a turn. That is the kind of turn that like could potentially end the game. We'll have to see how John adapts to this. If John did bring Mega Venusaur, well actually he can't have because he already Mega Aerodactyl, and that's it. Even at the high level, sometimes you see games that are just a total blowout. The thing is, on that turn, I don't even dislike John's play, right? Like the Dual Wing Beat should have removed the Zarina. The Fake Out was a little wild. I think it was like, hey, I think that you're going to remove yourself. Like, I think that you're not going to be part of this. So he said, you know what? I think you're scared. I'm calling your bluff. You're gonna remove that Zarina. It did not pay out for him. Then the Dual Wing Beat missed, and it was just curtains immediately. And GG. All right, we're popping in. We're seeing Mega Lucario Hard Trick Room versus this Rain Meganium team. All right, so Torkoal comes in. Furgraph protects. We see a Hurricane. Torkoal dodges because Sun makes Hurricane only 50% accurate. Machagacha is a resisted move and can never burn Torkoal because it's a fire type. Torkoal takes a decent amount of damage. If a Hurricane connected, I wouldn't be surprised if Torkoal went down next turn. Let's see. All right, Trick Room is up though, and I am having a hard time believing that this is a... I'm having a hard time believing that this is a Wide Guard Pelipper. So I'm believing that this is just the big... Oh, it is a Wide Guard Pelipper! I take it all back! Alright, what are we gonna see happen here? We see Weather Ball. He says, you know what? Just get rid of this bird. I don't care about type effectivenesses. I got modifiers. Alright, so Pelipper takes a hefty amount of damage for its troubles. We see a Nightshade come out from Sinestro. It's gonna do a decent chunk. And now Pelipper's looking kind of sad here. So I think, like, depending on if this Farigiraf has the ability to use Psychic or not, Psychic would remove Sinestro, and I'd have to imagine Weather Ball would remove the Sinestro. Okay. There are 3 turns of Trick Room, or sorry, there are 3 turns of Sun. How many turns of Trick Room remain? Alright, Empoleon comes in. Weather Ball again fires off into Empoleon. It's going to do a big chunk of damage, not enough to remove it. Citrus Berry comes right back out, and Empoleon stands strong in the face of Torkoal. Psychic does good damage into Sinestro, and Machagacha fires off back into both. Puts them down pretty low. Now the question is, do both of these Pokemon have access to Protect? Let's see. Everyone's eating a berry. Everyone's eating everything. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. I can check out what these Pokemon have. This is a Protect Empoleon. It does have access to that move. And Sinestro also has Protect. So realistically, we could see, I believe this is the final turn of Trick Room. We could see Trick Room go down this very turn. But the question is, would Lucario come back in? So the idea here behind bringing Lucario in is saying, you know what? I don't think that you're going to go offensive, and I think that because my Lucario outspeeds you, I'm kind of in this favorable position to say, you know what? Either you're going to give me offensive pressure on the following turn, or I'm going to take it. So, like, even though it was the last turn of Trick Room, it was a really heads-up play by Macaroni to just say, you know what? I'm not going for damage, I'm going for board positioning, because on top of that, Macaroni says, not only do I not sacrifice my Torkoal this turn and have a really disadvantaged state this turn, I think that now I get Torkoal in the back, I can choose when Torkoal comes back in, and you have to choose, are you dealing with my Empoleon, or sorry, my Lucario right now, or are you dealing with my Farigiraf right now? Honestly, just a really strong play by both players. Is this a special or physical attacking Lucario? This is a physical attacking Lucario with Ice Punch. So Sinestro uses Rage Powder. Lucario uses Close Combat. The idea here is that Close Combat will remove Empoleon. Weather Ball says, you know what? Fine. Keep your Lucario in. I'm just going to use the advantage of your weather to beat you up. And there goes Lucario. But I have to imagine there's going to be another Trick Room because of it. And the question is Kurt built to withstand 2 Trick Rooms? Sunlight fades. Sinestcha heals. Torkoal is at like half health, so it is important to note that like his Eruption is not going to be terribly strong. But if that next Pokemon that comes in is something like a Rhyperior, or like that's a really scary Pokemon for this team to deal with. I guess you would have Sinestcha, and Sinestcha is looking really healthy. In comes Sylveon. Sylveon can do big damage. This is a Hyper Beam Sylveon, so if they think that they can win the game with Torkoal, you can just choose to remove Empoleon with a Hyper Beam. I have to imagine that Empoleon's looking like it's close to being in range of Hyper Voice, too. It is a very complex game, yeah. And if we can remove all the obstacles in the way, like Pelipper, then Torkoal's going to look a lot stronger in this endgame. We see Helping Hand. Helping Hand Hyper Voice may be enough to remove this Empoleon. We'll have to see. Alright, Hyper Voice comes out. It's a strong move. It does not remove Empoleon. Empoleon's gonna get, it gets crit and it doesn't remove Empoleon. Empoleon goes for a Surf. Let's see how much damage this does. It does okay damage. That was a critical hit into Friggraf. He says, you know what? You crit me, I'll crit you right back. Honestly, both players are playing pretty passively here. It's like, hey, I'm going to stick a little damage into you. You're going to stick a little damage into me. The game will favor Kurt if he can get into a position where Trick Room ends, though. And the other thing to note is I haven't even talked about it. They still have a Mega Kangaskhan in the back. Or just a Kangaskhan in the back. Alright, Kangaskhan comes in. How healthy is that guy? Alright, Helping Hand comes out. Empoleon protects. And here comes the big Hyper Voice. Unfortunately, not being able to remove Friggraf means that this Kangaskhan can't click Fake Out, and holy cow, that was damage right there. The thing is, though, because we saw how much a crit did, I have to believe that Helping Hand Hyper Voice, after getting Sinestcha healing, would not pick up Empoleon. First time seeing Surf in the water looks so clean. Yeah, it's a move you see all the time, like, in actual gameplay, but you don't really tend to see it in VGC. Alright, so the question is would bringing Sinestcha in here be enough to survive another Helping Hand Hyper Voice? But it is also important to note that, like, the Trick Room turns are just getting whittled down one after the other. Empoleon drinks up his matcha, Friggraf helps its friend, and I have to imagine that another Surf is coming right back. Alright, here it comes. Both Pokemon survive, but everyone is looking like they are low on health. Surf comes out, it probably is going to remove this Sinestcha. Sinestcha hangs on at 3. Kurt knows his Pokemon, he knows what they're capable of. Sinestcha survives with leftovers healing. And gets leftovers healing. We've seen both Pokemon have Protect, and what I'm thinking is on Kurt's mind is like, hey, if I double Protect this turn, you can't stop me from switching in switching in Pelipper and clicking a big ol' Surf. Also, I have to imagine Sylveon's got to be in Flash Cannon range, or close to it. So I'm imagining that Kurt says, you know what? If I protect here, if I double protect here, I can use Flash Cannon into Sylveon next turn, plus Matcha Gotcha, and that should be able to remove Friggraf. And if Torkoal comes in at any point when they're playing defensively, we can just switch in Pelipper the following turn. Let's see. Alright, we see Protect. We see Protect. Hyper Voice connects into neither of them. Also, it's funny to note that, like, Friggraf's just like, you just keep screaming. You're doing a great job. Alright. Now, the question here becomes, who's fast? Actually, we have to know who's faster. Empoleon has outsped Sylveon a few times. Or, sorry, undersped inside of Trick Room. So now, Sinestcha is threatening Friggraf with Matcha Gotcha, and Empoleon is threatening Sylveon with a Flash Cannon, I'm imagining. This is Fairy Feather Sylveon. Alright, let's see what happens here. We see Matcha Gotcha come out. Sinestcha is the fastest Pokemon on this side of the field. Does a decent amount of damage. Gets the burn. Farigiraf is a great hype man, I agree. Alright, get some healing. It's a Surf! Empoleon says, you know what? I don't need to use Flash Cannon. I've got the best move in the game, Surf! Alright. Hyper Voice comes out, and it's gonna remove both Pokemon. And then it's gonna become a Kangaskhan and Pelipper as the final two Pokemon. That burn might end up mattering here. Alright, Sylveon is getting ticked down over time. Trick Room is over. Both Pokemon are threatening Farigiraf. Cinny being fastest is hilarious. Generally, it's the slowest Pokemon on the field, so to see it being faster than everything is pretty wild. Alright. The question here is, let's see, is this a Mega King? Also, I love how this game's been, like, very long compared to the last game we just watched where John just ended at turn 1. Or, yeah. Okay. So, I think it's safe here to just use Double Edge into Sylveon and say, you know what, if Torkoal comes in, it comes in, and then click Weather Ball into Farigiraf, because even if you change the typing to Fire, Farigiraf's health is just so low that I don't think it's going to be able to take these attacks. Alright, we see both players are really thinking this through. You could bring in the Torkoal on the Farigiraf spot and then click Protect. I don't know exactly what... I guess that would get you... Okay, we see Mega Evolution. Kangaskhan and his little child, or her little child, are ready to help each other out. Helping Hand. Is this Helping Hand Quick Attack? It's gotta be, right? Quick Attack, here it comes! It's not enough, but I love the hustle. Alright, Rock Slide into both. Says, you know what, I cover for if Torkoal comes in here. And then Pelipper uses Muddy Water, but it doesn't connect because there are no Pokemon remaining. And now it is just Torkoal versus the world. Notably, Pelipper does get significantly worse when Torkoal's on the field with the sun up. Who's the better, Kangaskhan or Dragapult? I'm gonna have to assume it's Kangaskhan because I haven't seen Kangaskhan throw its youth at people, so gonna chalk one up to Kangaskhan. Okay, Torkoal is at half health. I have to imagine a Double Edge will be enough to clean up this game, but we'll have to wait and see because Torkoal is known for being one of the physically bulkiest Pokemon in the game. Does this Torkoal have access to Heat Wave? This Torkoal does not have access to Heat Wave, so it's looking pretty difficult for it. This game was long enough for 2 Trick Rooms to run out. Yeah, we're seeing both ends of the spectrum. Like, this is the long game, the other one was the one and done. Alright. The slow and steady. We're really thinking through every single move here. Double Edge comes out. Can Torkoal survive it? It cannot. And that is the end of that game. Congratulations to Kurt. But it's not over for Kurt and Macaroni. Despite it being a long game, that was only game 1. We might have to go back and check in on John and Razor. Because, like, I feel like for me to only spectate one turn feels like doing them a disservice. So we're gonna jump back to them. And then we'll jump back to the next group. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so the board state is this. It looks like we just missed game 2. I'm assuming. Let's see. Yes, John won game 2. So, he brought it back. And it could... Oh no, this is not the first turn because John has already revealed his Mega Aerodactyl. Alright, so Steven switches out his Whimsicott to Delphox. Yeah, I think it's only fair to give them a proper watch. They had 1 turn, right? Alright, so Sneasler protects. Sylveon goes for Quick Attack. Honestly, I was gonna say I don't think Steven could, or Sacred Fire could have hoped for a better turn, but Delphox does get tagged by a Parting Shot. And the real power of Parting Shot here is like, yeah, maybe Whimsicott saved itself, but the thing is like, because he switched Delphox on this turn, he gets to scout and say, you know what, I think the best Pokemon to bring in on your Delphox is this Mega Aerodactyl, and how do you deal with it? Alright, Sneasler is notably at 11 HP. Can I check what item? Sneasler's attack has been lowered. Is this a Focus Sash Sneasler? This is a White Herb Sneasler, and they do have Tailwind up, so that is notable. Who has Tailwind up, actually? Okay. Sacred Fire's side of the field does have Tailwind up. So there is a chance that Close Combat plus an attack from Delphox could remove this Aerodactyl. If that's Quick Attack Sneasler, or Sylveon, though, I have to imagine that would remove... And there is Quick Attack. Quick Attack will remove Sneasler. But the question is will John call that Sylveon's bluff? Or will... Alright, Sneasler switches out, doesn't want to get Quick Attack for its troubles. Whimsicott returns to the field. Steven is going to Mega his Delphox. It is at -1 special attack because they did Parting Shot out. What does Delphox say? Ring ding 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 ding. The Delphox says, I'm going to call that this Aerodactyl clicks Protect. The other thing to note here is that Steven does have Encore on this Whimsicott. So yeah, it does get locked into just clicking one move over and over again. Hyper Voice comes out. Oh, never mind. I take it all back. Hyper Voice is going to remove that Whimsicott. Tailwind is gone. Delphox is at -1, and now this board state is looking pretty difficult for Steven to navigate. Primarina returns to the battlefield, though. A pretty strong Pokemon, capable of probably one-shotting Aerodactyl with Hyper Voice, potentially, or bringing it down low enough where an Aqua Jet, if it has it, could probably pick it up. It's not. This is Calm Mind Primarina, so a very interesting Pokemon to have. But notably, John, as far as I can see, hasn't really lost a lot of health. Like, his team is looking pretty healthy, and the Tailwind did not get a lot of mileage for Sacred Fire VG. Like, they're having a bit of a tough time bringing it back here. Like, I would say the board state heavily favors John, but it's not over for Sacred Fire right now. I do question if Hyper Voice can pick up, can we advance our board state a lot here? Alright, so we see a Protect, we see a Tailwind. I would not be surprised to see this Sylveon go nuclear here. Okay, just goes Hyper Voice. But that will do us a lot of damage. And if John did bring Basculegion as his final Pokemon, I have a hard time figuring out how he gets out of this situation. Alright, also, I think that the only way that this Aerodactyl gets taken down is by a very, very lucky dodge on a Rock Slide or a Dual Wing Beat here. Because right now... Oh, here comes the Rocks! Bye-bye Delphox! And now, Primarina's going to have to take a Hyper Voice where it's not sharing the volume with its friend. It's taking the full volume here. It does eat a Citrus Berry, but the question is, can it handle the rock? It does! Alright, here comes a Hyper Voice. Sylveon's looking low. The only thing is we know that Sacred Fire VG's final Pokemon is Sneasler, and Sneasler's looking really unhealthy right now. So the question is there a Pokemon that Sacred Fire can beat? That, because like Incineroar's about to come out eventually and lower the attack stat even more. Here comes the fish. He's got... Sacred Fire has one Pokemon at 11 health and one at 20, and there is an angry fish on the other side of the board. That fish is rocking the Focus Sash, so it's going to be really difficult. Steven sees the writing on the wall and decides, hey, it's time to end it. Hey, chats, thoughts on Bologna? Bologna. That is a good question. What are your thoughts on Bologna? I haven't really been following the meta for for Scarlet and Violet since Champions has come out, but I'm curious to see what people say. Alright, battle's already ended. We're gonna check this one out if they're still going. No, like the lunch. Oh, just the lunch meat. I thought you were talking about the special event. I guess it hasn't happened. Or no. I prefer salami. Oh, not my favorite lunch meat. Okay, it looks like their set just ended. Just so people know, we have 17 out of 24 sets have concluded. So we are like 2/3 of the way done with this set. Also, liver cheese is good. I've never had liver cheese. I have to drop. Sorry, just figured to let you know I'll be back next week. We love you, Snorkel. Glad to have you. I hope you have a good time. Bologna is D tier lunch meat. I'm inclined to agree. Bologna is like my least favorite lunch meat. If you love it, more power to you. You know, actually, there is a bologna festival in Michigan where, like, that's the whole theme of the festival is just bologna. So if you're a bologna lover, Michigan could be your place to go. Boar's Head bologna is B tier minimum. Interesting. Spelled wrong. Spelled wrong too. They didn't want to give it the grace of having it spelled correctly. All right, so here comes big helping hand Torkoal moment. Let's see. Sinestro uses Protect. What a load of bologna. There's been a lot of bologna. All right, Eruption comes out. Empoleon, are you that guy? Empoleon is that guy. Who would have thought? Eats the citrus berry. Weather Ball comes out. I like how Empoleon like fist bumps. He's like, yeah! I'm sorry, but that festival sounds disgusting. Honestly, I've been to the Bologna Festival. It's better than you'd think. Like, the bologna, pretty good. Alright, the dimensions have returned to normal, but the question is it enough? Only 2 turns left of sunlight. Are you a fellow Michigander? You know it. I was captain of the Michigan VGC team, baby. Rizzy. I'm the Michigan. No, I'm just kidding. There's so many good Michiganders. But yeah, no, I am a Michigander. Okay, so Farigiraf and Torkoal are the final 2 Pokemon versus Empoleon and Sinestro. The Torkoal's looking healthy. We see a Machagacha come out. I love how Rizzy's like, gotta follow one of my kind. Thank you, Rizzy. We really respect it. All right. The question is, take a gander at the Bologna. Oh no, we left Torkoal unattended. Is he gonna just fire off a big eruption? Is it? Will you be at Indy, Mr. Pokepal? I would love. Technically, yes. Technically, I will be at Indy, but I will not be at. Empoleon survives. Oh my gosh, this Pokemon's kind of going crazy. Nice, definitely following after that. Haha, watching from Royal Oak. Respect. I actually lived in Royal Oak for a little bit. I'll be at Indy, but not for Pokemon. There's a wedding that I'm going to in Indy, which is 2 minutes from the event. Also, the Twitch is saying, use your Twitch Prime if you have it to pay me money. No, but if you have free Twitch Prime, you can subscribe and get no commercials. All right, Sun is actually going to go down, and Empoleon survives everything it needs to. But the question is, will Surf pick up from this range? I'm inclined to say yes, but this Empoleon showed that it's got so much bulk that I question how much it's got in its special attack. If it's an Italian festival, yes, the Bologna would be OP. It's not an Italian festival, I do not believe. It's in Yale, Michigan, which is pretty north. Maybe? No, they're Irish. That's a very Irish community. I don't think that they're Italian at all. I mean, maybe somebody is, but... Surf comes out. Is Empoleon that guy? Empoleon's that guy! Woo! That was crazy. Not to root against Macaroni, but that was a crazy set. Good game to both players. Like, honestly, that had to be within a rolls range. That was a very even match, and both players played it fantastically. Single target Surf into the specially frail Pokemon. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. But I had to be the hype man. I had this question. It lived like 2 eruptions. Empoleon is my guy. He really did go hard that one. Hello, my opponent just told me I put the wrong ability on Limitless. Can we fix that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that match issue. If you have the wrong ability, the way that we do this is you can switch it in between games to be the correct ability. That's okay. But if you had the wrong ability in the game, you take it a loss. All right. So this. So you can fix that ability. That's totally okay. This whole tournament is primarily for practice. In a normal tournament, they would not let you. You'd have to either play it out or like what you submit is what you submit. This tournament is for practice. You cannot switch abilities every single turn, but if you're using Farigiraf with Sap Sipper and it's clearly not supposed to be Sap Sipper, we will be lenient with you. Macaroni had me sweating. Yeah, that was a crazy set. Thank you for letting us watch that. That was so good. Both you played so well. I have to go now. Bye, and please host more of these. Cyclops, I host them every Monday. So if you want to play again, we'll be back Monday. Also, if you lost Cyclops, you can keep playing too. You're not out. But if you have to go, I completely get it. I know, bro. I know, bro. Sorry I make team building fast because I was out of tempo. No worries, it happens. Thank you for the follow, Skadan the Man. Greatly appreciate you. All right, streaming has been a lot of fun. I will say that. It's been fun to get to watch people. The tourney's been going really well. I'm commentating this one. I'm not playing in it. You get to see a lot of really interesting perspectives. We just got to see Empoleon be that guy on stream. So if you're an Empoleon fan, you did just miss out. I knew I should have clicked Helping Hand. Dang it. Played really bad at both the end games. I don't think you played bad, Jack. I think that it was just a close game. I was surprised Empoleon ate that second eruption. It had to have been a roll. It had to have been. It was so close. It had like 5 HP left. All right, so, oh my gosh, are we seeing Mega Chimecho? Is this who I believe it is? It can't be regular Chimecho, right? It is. Oh no! I don't know if this player knows, but this player's got Expanding Force Chimecho. So, an interaction that is not favorable for Delphox and Chimecho is that Expanding Force only works if the Pokemon using Expanding Force is touching the ground. And because both those Psychic types have Levitate as their ability, they don't touch the ground. So you will see this Chimecho click Expanding Force. You may see it click it in Psychic Terrain, but you will not see the full oomph behind Expanding Force. Alright, here comes Meowstic. Here, Scovillain is gonna Mega Evolve. OMG regular Chimecho. I feel like it might be optimal not to Mega Chimecho, but there he goes. I was gonna say, that is a Pokemon that could potentially survive the the fire move here. Here comes Electroshock with no rain. Archaludon says, you know what, I'm going Dry Bridge, I'm just charging up. Chimecho, no Mudsdale. Heinous. Alright. Overheat comes into the bell. Is it gonna survive? It does not survive. We love you, Chimecho. Alright. The bridge starts charging, but I think I lucked out on the Machagacha burn into Rhyperior, but the amount I had that happen to me in SV, I'm happy to have it return my favor. Psy Spam is in the gutter. Yeah, Psy Spam's got it really rough right now. Poor Chimecho. We at least got to see him. Kitty gonna get nuked. Okay, so the nice thing about this turn is that the Scovillain at least has used Overheat already, right? So it's like it can't really Leech Seed this Magic Bout's Hatterene, I'm assuming? Yes. So you can technically get a big Expanding Force, but the thing is Archiludon is a Pokemon that resists Psy Spam. So the question is, what do you do this turn? I'm imagining that we probably see Scovillain swap out to something like Sableye, and then we just see a big nuclear bridge go off. Okay, so I see a lot of comments happening here. I just ran into a really cool team. You'll have to tell us about it, Leviticus. I made a fun Armarouge and the Spathra Psy Spam team. I believe that would be cool. Psy Spam found dead in Detroit. Poor Psy Spam. Curse you, Cleveland. Okay, Fake Out goes into Scovillain. Gets the critical hit. Electroshock comes out. Where's that bridge firing? Into Hatterene. Hatterene goes down to 38 health. We see Trick Room goes up. We know that there's King Gambit in the back. If there's a will, there's a way. Maybe we can squeeze this one back. Both Pokemon here do resist Expanding Force, but that hasn't stopped us Expanding Force users before. We will click Expanding Force in the face of things that resist it. They let Intimidate Weirdeer in competitive Melodic. Oh, that one's a fun strategy. Yeah, because then you skill swap the Intimidate onto someone else, and then you Intimidate your own Melodic. Yeah, that is a fun strategy. We do love that. Curse you, Cleveland. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there's Stream Elements telling everybody we host these tournaments every Monday, so if you would like to join, make sure to join the Discord. All right, Psychic Terrain does go up. We will see Expanding Force in all of its glory. Oh, I'm getting a call. Sorry. All right. Expanding Force does almost half to both Pokemon. Here comes a Brave Bird. Followed up by a... What do we see? Alright, I have mad respect for Hunter for playing this out. Dragon Pulse, +1. Meowstic does take that. But realistically, based on the speed stats of these Pokemon, I have to imagine that Meowstic's probably faster than them. And which means that since they are inside of Trick Room, it's not looking favorable for them. Archaludon has also taken a few attacks, so outside of a critical hit, I have to imagine it's probably not getting picked up by King Gambit here either. So we'll have to see how this ends up going. Alright. Let's see. Can King Gambit land... Okay, what moves does King Gambit have too is the other thing. King Gambit is on Hunter's team. King Gambit has Protect, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, and Low Kick. Low Kick is a strong move into Archaludon. Archaludon has how many boosts? Just a singular boost. I don't know if it goes down to Low Kick at that range. We see Corviknight retreat into Scovillain. We see Sucker Punch come out into Psychic Terrain. Thank you for the follow, Chrono Scouter. Greatly appreciated. The thing to note here is that when you set Psychic Terrain, you block all priority moves, including your own, except into your allies. You can priority move your allies. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah, thank you for the follow, Chrono Scooter. I always love the love. We are in the middle of a tournament. We host them every Monday, and I am giving feedback to people as they're playing. So, good game to both players. I somehow won. I don't know how I blacked out. Sometimes you get taken over by the game. Sometimes you find a way. Alright, let's see. Okay, so that was game... Okay, so this is our final set for this set, correct? Or yes, it is. Corvus flying type, though. You can Sucker Punch into a flying type. That is true. If Psychic Terrain only protects Pokemon that are not on the ground. Or sorry, that are on the ground. I misspoke. Okay, my bad. That was not my intention to spread misinformation there. So that is actually the final set of our, final game of our set 2. So we are going to go to set number 3. Holy cow, we had 65 people in this tournament. Thank you guys for coming and playing. It means a lot to me. All right, we're going to round number 3, baby. Round 3 is up. All right, we're going to make a room. If you'd like to be streamed, I'm going to share the stream code. My mon choices were sometimes... I'm trying to think how to say this. Sometimes when you bring mons that are not your normal routes, like I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but your opponent won't be able to anticipate it, and it means anyone can it means that you can kind of go in a way... I'm trying to think how to say this. If you have a terrible, 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 horrible, terrible matchup, sometimes it's optimal to... And yes, anyone can join Leviticus. This is a tournament, so as long as you're in the tournament, you can join the stream match. Anyway, sometimes going your non-normal routes can be helpful because if they know what the routes are, they might anticipate that and just blow you up. So sometimes you have to go to bold new places and try things you've never done before. All right, I'm just gonna join whoever's room is ready first. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the judge chat is open. Okay. So this tournament is going a little bit slower than the other ones, but we have a lot of new people. I do want to say thank you. What do you mean in the tournament? This is a tournament. It is a it's 5 rounds of Swiss. It's also, you can see it's pinned if you're on Twitch in the, I haven't been looking at the multi-chat. What am I talking about? If you look at the pinned comment, that's the link to the tournament. Anyone can join at any time. I also have a Discord. I host these tournaments every single Monday. So if you'd like to join, you can join this tournament in the middle of it. That's okay. It is free for anyone to play at any time. Okay, we have 3 people in the room. We're just waiting for people to match into their opponents. Also, good, I have water. I was thirsty. If you have any questions, Leviticus, let me know and I can help you out. Oh, there's our first one, ready to rock. Cool. It's going to be Jamie versus Umar. How do I join? You can use that Limitless link that is pinned on Twitch, and you can join the tournament through that link. And then in the Discord, I will post the room code if you want to be on stream. I'm the stream game, funny arch set. Let's go! Alright, so we get to see the funny arch set. That is being run by Jamie. So the thing with this Archaludon is that it is Archaludon with no rain. It is Aurasphere, Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon. I guess the idea here is like Aurasphere does well into King Gambit, and White Herb says, you know what? I can launch multiple of these Draco Meteors. The funny thing is, though, if the opponent has Intimidate, they can make the ability to use Draco Meteor that way just gone. Also, this is sturdy Archaludon, so you cannot remove it in one hit. Okay. Alright, so we see Crab plus Frigoraph and King Gambit plus Floette. Umar's team has a nice aesthetic color palette. Yeah, you know what? It really does, Meg. I agree. Alright, so the thing going on here is that, like, that Floette will obliterate that Crab. It will turn that Crab into crab meat. And also, Floette really doesn't want Trick Room going up here. But the thing is that Crabominable is also really threatening this King Gambit. The King Gambit does not have access to Choppleberry, so I have to imagine that it just gets one-shot by Crabominable. So there's kind of like a Wild Western showdown happening right now where it's like, are you going to let me take your Mega and get Trick Room up? Or are you just going to... let me... smoke, like, are you going to let me smoke your crab, basically? Are you going to let me blow your crab up? Because I think outside of Light of Ruin, I don't think that, even maybe with Light of Ruin, I don't think Frigoraph goes down here. But the question is do they just, oh, Helping Hand. They say, you know what, I don't even need to Mega this crab. Is this Mega Crab? We see Helping Hand. Crab gets obliterated from the Dazzling Gleam. Goodbye, Crab. Kowtow Cleave. Oh no! I think if it was Mach Punch, that it would have... Even without the Helping Hand, I think potentially Mach Punch would just remove King Gambit here. And just like that, with just 2 moves, Jamie has not taken any damage and is in a really favorable spot. We see Sylveon and Torkoal. Notably, Sylveon's Hyper Voices will be boosted up by this Mega Floette, but the thing is, like, Umar's lost so many resources already. The question is, how are they going to position themselves in a way where they can come back from this? I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm doing something like this. The website just has the rules, I think. If you go to the standings page, there should be a sign. Oh, you know what? I bet you have to make a profile, Leviticus. And you don't have to be sorry. This is a place where a lot of people are playing for their first time. It's a new game, so do not feel the need to apologize. I would see if you can make a login, and then I also would go on to then afterwards see if, because you should be able to register. Registration is open at any time. Let me see. I specifically made it so late registration was a thing. Alright. So, Umar decides, you know what, I just have to remove the King Gambit. That's all I need. Oh, you know what, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe registration is closed after round 2, because it's not showing that option for me as well. Wait, tournament, dashboard, advanced options. Let me see. Edit tournament, registration. It says that late players are allowed to register, but I'm also not seeing the option. You might not be able to register after round 2. I apologize, Leviticus. I thought you could join after round 2, but maybe not. Let's see. It's fine. But we'll be here every Monday if you ever want to join. Mondays at 7:30 Eastern Time. Also, there's a link to the Discord I posted just a little bit ago. You can follow that, and I will update you. I put announcements out every Monday, so. Let me see. I'm just testing one more thing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe I'm crazy, but it does not look like you can just log in and join the tournament. I thought you could join late. I know you can join late, but there might be a limit to how late is. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna join another battle. It's like, oh, I have to wait now. All right, let's see. Let's check out Will versus Holisay. Okay. So it looks like Mega Dragonite has been felled by the combination of Whimsicott and Garchomp. I have to imagine that Tailwind has gotten up at some point. Also, the fact that Mega Dragonite has happened leads me to believe that this player probably has either Venusaur or Basculegion in the back. I have a little bit of a hard time believing that they left Charizard, or they're bringing both Charizard and Dragonite without Mega-ing Charizard. Charizard is one of those Pokemon without Sun. It kind of just chooses not to, or it kind of needs to Mega to bring value to games. Also, Haley says hello. She wanted love. Alright, so Garchomp enters the field. Let's check the status of Tailwind. Okay, there are 2 turns remaining. So that means that Whimsicott and Garchomp are going to outspeed Will's Garchomp and Kingambit. And also generally with Whimsicott, the big fear is that if you click Protect, if you try and stall out Tailwind turns, they will Encore you. So Garchomp goes for a Protect. Other Garchomp goes for a Rock Slide. Let's see. Hi, Haley says hi. Hi. Alrighty. Alright, so Rock Slide does very little damage to Kingambit. Generally, I feel like in that position, the reason why they clicked Rock Slide is they're probably choice locked into Rock Slide. It was probably one of their better ways of dealing with the Mega Dragonite. We do see Venusaur enters the field. Venusaur is an excellent Pokemon for removing that Whimsicott. Moonblast comes into the Venusaur, also going to be resisted. Alright, and then what does Kingambit do? It goes for Iron Head, probably into that Whimsicott, I have to imagine. Whimsicott has been removed. If that Garchomp is locked into Rock Slide, this board state's looking pretty nice for Will. I'm logging in for lodges in for next time. I'm assuming you mean like I'm logging in for next time, or I'm locked in for next time, and we're glad to have you. Well, I'm excited to see what you bring to the table. Okay. So, Garchomp looks like it is locked into Rock Slide. So we'll have to see. Holisay is thinking about what Pokemon to bring in next. And in comes Charizard. The funny thing here, though, is that if you Mega that Charizard, you're going to give the speed to that Venusaur. Also notably, because Whimsicott's the first Pokemon to go down for Holisay, they have the ability to pivot out this Garchomp to use later. So, Kingambit kind of looking pretty good here, as long as this Venusaur can connect to Sleep Powder. The only Pokemon... Okay, so the idea here, too, is, like, if Garchomp stays in and clicks Rock Slide, it won't. It's okay. That heavily leads me to believe that it is a... Oh! Charizard, a genius move not to Mega there. Without Megaing, Venusaur is going to underspeed the Charizard, and a Heat Wave is going to launch off into both Pokemon. We see a Kowtow Cleave followed up into Charizard. Does a lot of damage, but not enough to pick up. Honestly, not Megaing was a brilliant play there. Alright. Garchomp is in front of Sneasler and Charizard here. Let's see if Will... Holisay. Okay. Let's see what kind of Garchomp Will is rocking. Will's rocking a Citrus Berry Garchomp, so it is going to be pretty healthy. Rough Skin will do damage to the Sneasler if it connects a move into it. That Sneasler is White Herb Unburden, so no Mega Unzard just to prove a point. No, that was a powerful move because if you give Venusaur the Sun, it will outspeed the Charizard. So, like, it is to prove a point, but it's also a powerful statement. It's saying, you know what, I'm actually better like this into you. Alright, Fake Out launches off into King Gambit. Garchomp clicks Earthquake. It's going to remove that Sneasler. We're going to... Bye-bye, Sneasler. And now we're going to end the game with a 2v2 situation. Solar Beam fires off. Into the Garchomp. It's going to do a decent amount of damage. Garchomp eats Citrus Berry. Alright, so Garchomp is looking pretty healthy. Not terribly healthy. So the scary situation here, though, is that with this Garchomp, like, what's stopping it from just clicking Earthquake? And then, okay, so Holisay's in a position where it's like, if you protect Charizard and click Earthquake here, it's like, I have to imagine you're gonna pick up the King Gambit. You're gonna do most of the damage to the Garchomp. Most Garchomps do survive a Dragon Claw, which means that you'll be able to follow up with your Charizard on the following turn. We've already seen that this Garchomp is Scarfed, so it doesn't matter, it's always going to outspeed. I guess there is a world where it's like, if you Sucker Punch the Garchomp, and Dragon Claw the Garchomp, and the Charizard clicks Protect, that is the world where Will gets back into this. If Charizard attacks, and Sucker Punch might remove the Charizard here. Okay, we'll have to see what happens. Okay, Sucker Punch into Garchomp. This is half of what you need. Did the Garchomp go for Earthquake? Is it enough to remove the other Garchomp? Earthquake comes out. It's not single target because Charizard's right there. Garchomp takes that easily, and Dragon Claw flares right back. Okay, but because that Garchomp's so bulky, I kind of question, is it going to go faster or slower than the Charizard? We probably just saw it recently. I should have been paying more attention, but it's going to come down to these two Pokemon. There are 3 turns of Sunlight remaining. There is the world where if you know that Charizard is going to outspeed you, you can go for 3 Protects. That is possible, but if you outspeed this Charizard, then you're pretty free to just launch off a big... Let's see, what's your best move into it, Will? Will has Rock Tomb. That's going to for sure remove the Charizard, but I imagine that Dragon Claw at this range probably is enough to do it too. Dragon Claw comes out, it is faster, and it does remove Charizard, and that is the end of the first game. That is the end of the game. They played that really well. That was a close one. Honestly, if Charizard just didn't protect there, that would have been a completely different game. And it's one of those things where it's like you can't feel bad when a game gets that close, because that is a close set right there. Okay. So, is everybody done in this lab? Okay, they're locking back in. I was kind of wondering for a second. Oh, we have a match issue. Let me resolve that real quick. All right. Also, I need some more water. Oh. Maybe they are done. I don't know. No, they're preparing. But I can't see. Okay. Let's see. You know, based on the math, there will be at least 5 players, and I do... at least 3 5-0 players, and I do not want to lose my win streak on resistance. That's why you'll just have plot armor, trust. Also, you have to win first, too. That's the other thing. Okay, we're looking pretty close to starting here. Okay, cool. We're jumping in. We're going to follow the next one of this set. If other people want to have their game streamed, they can join the stream. That is totally welcome. Let's see. I have confidence in my 4 straight limitless win streak. That is good. Also, gosh, I need to build a Venusaur team. Venusaur is one of my favorite Pokemon. It's like in the top 5 for sure. And I just haven't built it yet. I think I'm just afraid to be hurt by one of the Pokemon I love the most. Like, I'm like, what happens if I find out that I'm not a Venusaur player? Also, I just realized we had so many people join the Discord. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I hope you're having a good time. You don't like poison types? Poison types are the best. What are you talking about? Oh, I didn't even see you, Lost Lily. Hello, welcome, welcome. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. We are watching people stream the we're watching people play tournament games, and we're learning from them and getting better. Okay, so this is Dragonite and Garchomp lead versus Whimsicott and Garchomp. Realistically, this Whimsicott's sitting pretty right here. It can be hurricaned, but realistically, this Whimsicott's probably just getting Tailwind up, and this Garchomp, this could be a bait, but it feels like it's like being pushed towards clicking Dragon Claw. Instead, it goes for Rock Slide. Dragonite, the Pokemon it wants to connect with that attack, does get hit, or does not get hit. Let's see what Garchomp does flinch. So I mean, you get a little, you give a little, you get a little. I don't know. All right, Garchomp is now locked into Rock Slide. 2-in-1. Let's go, Jack and Dizzy. That's awesome. All right, Garchomp is now locked into Rock Slide, a move that does not do a ton of damage to Garchomp. Dragonite is at full health, which means the multi-scale is intact, but the question is, where are these moves going to follow up? And if this Garchomp just keeps clicking Rock Slide, it's not going to make it an easy entrance for this Charizard that could potentially be on the other team. Alright, Extreme Speed from Dragonite to remove that Whimsicott. A pretty smart play, I'd say. Critical hit, not necessary, but it just wants to show, like, hey, this is going to finish you for sure. Alright, Garchomp launches another Rock Slide. This time it does connect into Dragonite, but will Garchomp be able to actually follow up with an attack this time? Alright. Garchomp does use Dragon Claw, and it's going to bring Garchomp down very low. Empo really has been this guy, or been that guy this tournament for me. We saw him on stream. He was that guy. Surviving 2 eruptions, that was crazy. I just got a nice win on the ladder. Nice, Levatica. So what were you playing against? Okay. So now the question is who's going to come in and take advantage of, I believe we saw Tailwind go up. Yes. So, honestly, Charizard's a pretty interesting Pokemon to bring in here. I don't dislike it. We know Rock Slide's going to come out. It does not look like Rock Slide will be enough to finish Dragonite off from here. But maybe the idea is like, hey, if I do Rock Slide plus Solar Beam into Garchomp, we can remove him. And he's been a real big pain in my side. And also, when you're clicking Rock Slide, every single turn you got a chance for flinches, right? So, and that Dragonite can only launch or can only take so many more Rock Slides too. All right, so we see Charizard Mega. All right, Rock Slide's gonna come out. Do we see a double connect? Oh, Extreme Speed comes out first. Interesting. Not enough to pick up Garchomp. Rough Skin's going to do more chip damage into both. Rock Slide connects into both. Not enough to remove Dragonite, but a follow-up Extreme Speed will be enough to do the job. Alright, what did Charizard go for? Charizard went for a big ol' Solar Beam. Garchomp is a little bit above half, and we've seen it's pretty bulky. So the question is, will it survive this Solar Beam? It does. It's going to be able to eat the Citrus Berry. And we know that this Garchomp has Rock Tomb. Here comes the Tomb for Charizard. There he goes. And now it's looking pretty scary. Critical hit. I have a hard time believing that Charizard will survive that because it is a ×4 effective move, but some Charizards are very bulky, so. Alright, the question is, who is our final Pokemon? We see Sneasler. So notably, normally, Fake Out and... No, not Fake Out. Never mind, I'm thinking of something different. Okay, so this Garchomp is very, very low. It's within range of Extreme Speed. It is locked into Rock Slide. It cannot make another choice of move, so it's pretty much free to be removed from Extreme Speed. But Dragonite says, you know what? I might do that later. Kingambit comes in. Garchomp uses Protect. It's all about positioning this turn, I guess. I guess the idea here is like, hey, you know what? I don't have to make my moves right now. I can make them later. Rock Slide lands onto that Kingambit. Not going to do very much damage, but it is damage nonetheless. The question here is, what does Sneasler go for? It goes for Close Combat. Would have been ×4 effective into the Kingambit, but that's a hard call to make when the Pokemon on the other side was originally a Dragonite. And Holisei realizes, you know what? This board position is just too difficult to deal with, so I'm just going to have to call it. I just realized that size difference in the Chomps, too. I think the side is an X Alpha. Yeah, I've seen like a teeny Charizard before, and that thing is like super teeny tiny. Yeah, sometimes the size difference can really make a difference. I actually just realized there is a size difference. Yeah, Pokemon do show up in size differences. So if you ever see a Pokemon with the teeny mark or the formerly alpha or the, what is it? It's not the giant. It's the great. If you see the great, that is a Pokemon that is as big as they come. And with that, I believe we're going into a game. Oh no, sorry, that was a 2 wins for Fredward. So or as you might know them. Or wait, am I looking at the right thing? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, I was playing with my formerly Alpha Garchomp last game. Respect. All right. This is not the same. Oh, those were the people that had the match issue. Never mind. Let me check. Holisei. Okay, so Holisei did lose. So Ally did win. All right. Okay, cool. And we're gonna jump into another game. We're going to jump into. For how much longer will you be streaming, Mr. Parker? I will be streaming until this tournament ends, and we are currently in round 3 out of 5, so we'll probably be ending close to 10:30, 11. We are going to jump into another set. We are going to check out the one, the only, Charpy and John V. Let's see. Can we get there in time is the question. Let's see. We're joining Charpy's room. We're checking out John V versus Charpy. John V is a player we watched recently. They had the Sylveon team, and they are going up against a team that looks quite similar to theirs. And there are basically 2 different mods, or maybe 3. Okay, but anyway, okay, let's lock in. Okay. Charpy has lost their Mega Aerodactyl. John still retains his. We haven't seen how the Tailwinds have set up. Okay, let's. All right. Let's get a sense of the board state. All right, we have Tailwind on one side, but not on the other. Incineroar has very low health. The idea here is like, hey, I probably have to give up Incin or another one of these Pokemon because nobody on the other side of the field really likes the idea of taking Basculegion attacks. Basculegion uses that to its advantage, decides to switch out, and a Sylveon comes in its place. Kamui goes for Protect, but honestly, most Sylveons are rocking Quick Attack these days, so that is a ×4 effective Quick Attack. I don't imagine that Quick Attack is going to be enough to pick up Kamui from full health, but it's going to do a sizable chunk. And also, it's also immune to Kamui's big spread Dragon-type moves. So this Sylveon is really threatening this Kamui. And you know what? The best way to threaten a dragon type is with another Sylveon. So we see two fairy type Eevee evolutions staring down dragons and saying, you know, who's really the scariest Pokemon on the field here? With that said, I do think that Dragon Ground does offer more offensive pressure into an opposing Sylveon than a Dragon Fighting type. We do see Garchomp protect. What do we see happen on the other side of the field? We see a Clanging Scales go out. The idea is like, hey, I just don't want you to hurt my Sylveon. But you know what? Sylveon says, too bad, I'm going for it. We see a Moonblast, and that will definitely be enough to remove the opposing Komoa. And then Sylveon's gonna fire back with a big Hyper Voice. No, they just submitted the wrong. This is a regular Floette in this tournament. No, it's probably the wrong person. Yeah, I'd have to imagine. Have you guys checked out your VGC Wrapped? I did check out my VGC Wrapped. It's so funny because all of my win rates are like 50 plus or 60, and then Regulation I with the dual restricted is like 40. It brings the whole thing down. All right, so now that John has Mega Aerodactyl, I'll show you on the stream after this round. It's cool. It's just called VGC Wrapped. But anyway, because John has Mega Aerodactyl in now, he has the ability to click Tailwind and potentially outspeed this Garchomp depending on how these Pokemon are invested. Sylveon releases a big Hyper Voice. It is enough to remove Garchomp, and the other Sylveon is now very, very low. Charpy has a Basculegion in the back, and that is a Focus Sash Basculegion. It's already seen the field at least once, which means it's probably going to have been tagged at least once, which means it'll probably be in range of going down. We see the champion tiered Basculegion come on out. It is pretty low. I question whether it's in range of a single Hyper Voice or not. The question here is, can Aerodactyl and Sylveon take out both of these Pokemon? I have to say that Hyper Voice will probably pick up other Sylveon and probably do the majority of the Basculegion's health. The question, though, is, what are these Pokemon going to do? We see Basculegion protect. We also see Aerodactyl protect. We see a Hyper Beam come out. We say we don't want to deal with this Sylveon. And we see a Moonblast come out. Everybody protects their very, very precious Pokemon this turn. But the question is how many more turns can we afford to do that, though? Clearly, John has identified that this Basculegion is likely to survive a Hyper Voice, so you know what? Why not just throw in the Fairy type cannon? Just throw out this massive laser. John goes for another protect. Says, you know what? I can't risk losing my sweet, precious baby boy Aerodactyl. The Aqua Jet does not connect into Aerodactyl. We see Sylveon fire off yet another Hyper Beam. And they're... Bye-bye, Fishy! The power of fairies are just too strong. And now we have to see, what does Charpy do in return? Charpy goes for a Moonblast into Sylveon. How much damage is this going to do? It does a sizable amount. But the question is will Hyper Voice... Okay, so I imagine that there's probably only one more turn of Tailwind. Yes, so if Charpy's Sylveon can dodge Aerodactyl's attack, which it cannot... That's gonna be game. I was gonna say, if it could dodge this attack and then fire off a Hyper Voice of its own, then maybe there's a chance, but that's gonna be game. Honestly, a very close game between the two of them, and that is going to be... I believe that was game 3 of their set. That was a very fun one to watch. Okay, what's VGC Wrapped? So VGC Wrapped is a... Let me just put it on the screen over here. Alright, VGC Wrapped. I don't know if I can just pull it up. I think you can. You type in your name, and if you've gone to regionals, you can just check out... Also, I'm Unk. You can check out statistics on yourself. So like my best regionals are, I got 4th at Louisville, I got 11th at Peoria, and I got 44th at Toronto. And then it'll show you all the regionals they have on record for you. I've gone to 15 regionals. That's crazy. Or internationals. Milwaukee. Yeah. All right, cool. And then I've had 144 matches, and I've won 83, and I've lost 61. And I'm in the top 14%. And you can see, like, Regulation C, I won 66%, D, 50%, 64 for E, 61 for F, 52 for Regulation G, 69.6 for Regulation H, then Regulation I. I just totally bomb my statistics. I say let's just lose more than we win. My most brought Pokemon's Ursaluna, then Indeedee, then Torkoal, then Koraidon. My highest win rate is with Zoroark, Hisui, and Gallade, and Urshifu Single Strike. My most commonly used moves... Oh, wait, I should realize... Are these... Okay, they are showing up on the screen. Just a little senior. I'm probably... I didn't realize you were just a little senior, Crocodile. It's a shame there is so few over here in Australia. Makes getting into regionals actually so hard. It is hard. It is... I'm sure it is hard. I actually have played against at least one Australian player, I'm pretty sure, because I think on one of these things it tells you... Yeah. It tells you... Hold on. Why is everything highlighted like this? Okay. It tells you, yeah, like what regions you fought against. So, look at, I got 100% win rate against that region. Where maybe, yeah, I do have. The Australian players are just too strong though. I've only got one match and I've only lost it. So they're OP. Australia OP. My fiercest rival is Benji and Calvin Tobias, where we've both tied each other. We both won one and lost one. Benji beat me at Pittsburgh, and then I beat them at Toronto, and I beat Calvin at Louisville, and they beat me in Toronto. So, and then, yeah, there's the stats. So, VGC Wrapped, it's fun to check out. Highly recommend if you have the time. Let's move back to the tournament, because I'm imagining it's probably close to being our next set. So, yes, it is. Okay, it's time for our next set. We're going to pair it off. Pair next round. I'm going to make an announcement in the Discord. Round 4 is up. Alright, cool. Alright. Well, we just gotta get more regionals going over there for you guys in Australia. That's the new plan, right? I really want to replay Legends ZA, but I'm having difficulty getting into it. It is hard. Like, ZA is fun, but like once you start playing like I was going to say, like, VGC. Like, it just feels so drastically different. I think what made playing ZA so fun for me is that I knew that there were a lot of people that were really in it at the same time as me. So, if you had, like, a group of people to play with. Also, notably, we do have a lot of people in the Discord that have played competitive ZA. We had a scene for a little bit. If you were trying to get back into it, there is a Legends ZA channel. You could probably message somebody. Like, you could just drop a ping in there and be like, or not a ping. You could just be like, hey guys, looking for people to play battles with, and I'm sure someone would want to be playing with you. Let's see. Also, the motivation to get a Floette probably helps too. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Zach has joined. I need to get some water. Alright, what's the Sleeper Mega? The Pokemon that people haven't been using that you're like, I think that that's actually good. Or I think that it could be good. Maybe it's not good, but it's like on the right team. You're like, I believe in this Pokemon. Alright, we got Sacred Fire and Zach in here. Both are preparing. Also, we have quite a few people that are 3-0. Banette? Pundit? Well, who's Pundit? I think Banette is funny. I kind of question, like, how powerful. Autocorrect? You know, when they release Mega Pundit, though, we're gonna see what happens. It could be OP. Pinsir. Oh, okay, I can see Pinsir. Pinsir's cool. Pinsir is a strong Pokemon, that is for sure. Alright. Alright, here we go. We got our first battle. It's gonna be Sacred Fire versus Fredward. So Sacred Fire has been using Mega Delphox a lot. I have a lot of respect for that composition. I think it's a lot of fun. Mega Lopunny? Oh, we're in it. This is gonna be a fun set to watch. How were the matches? I'm a little frustrated about losing, but oh well. The matches have been fun. There's been a lot of really cool Pokemon. We're gonna see a Mega Lopunny here, so actually, are we going to see Mega Lopunny? Does Mega Lopunny do well into Sacred Fire VGC's team? I feel like it probably does better than the... actually, I don't know. Well, you have Talonflame. I was going to say... I just am now realizing how crazy Zarina is into Talonflame. Like, I know that Frigraph is good into it because you block priority, but being a grass type that can sit in front of, Prankster Bravebird and be like, no, you can't touch me is wild. I mean, free Prankster, Willow, Trick Room, Absurd Attack, and a Destiny Bond, yeah. That is pretty funny. Like, I could see it. I've had a few fun games against Megalopony. Me too. Megalopony always makes things interesting. Help me, I'm fighting the Empoleon, especially with the 2 ghost types on my team. Alright, Crocodile. The thing is that you've had your like streak, but now you have to fight literal plot armor. So what are you gonna do in that situation? That's the new question. Yeah, 2 ghost types. Well, no, but the thing is with Lopunny, you have Scrappy, so you just don't even care that they're ghosts. You just punch them anyway. Alright, so we do see Lopunny be a villain, I guess. You've got to start their villain arc. You gotta... Alright. Okay, so the thing is Lopunny here... Okay, Brave Bird is threatening Whimsicott heavily, right? So you can just launch that attack. Sacred Fire VGC, let's see, is there Garchomp Scarfed? I think we already know that it's not, but I'm checking to make sure. No, it is Scarf Garchomp. And it does have Rock Slide. So that Talonflame is threatened. Does this Lopunny have Triple Axle? It does! So there's a lot of mind games at play already on turn 1. Alright, we see a retreat from the Whimsicott. Zarina enters the field. The question is, do they go for Tailwind or do they go for Brave Bird? Because if Tailwind comes out, this Garchomp is toast. Well, I mean, I assume it's toast. It might not be. We do see Tailwind. This girl bunny about to go crazy. Let's see. Triple Axle comes out. It might only need 2. No, it needs 3. Okay. Will all 3 connect? It does. And just like that, Garchomp is down. The last one is a critical hit. Lopunny does the most fierce triple axle of its entire life, and Garchomp is gone. Do you want to pay? You can get up, Haley. You want up? Okay, so now Sacred Fire VGC is facing down a Talonflame with Tailwind up and Mega Lopunny. But the question is, can this Pokemon even damage? Like, okay, so what does... Talonflame has Flare Blitz. Lopunny has Close Combat, Fake Out, Encore, and Triple Axle. So the question is, like, you might just have to give up your Lopunny in this situation. Like, you can't really hit this Delphox for good damage, right? You can Protect, you can use Encore, but, like, I don't think that Flare Blitz plus Triple Axle or Close Combat is enough to pick up Delphox here. You can Triple Axle the Zarina, but Zarina also could potentially just Protect, so... You've gotten Tailwind up, but at what cost, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. I don't think it would be a bad play to click Flare Blitz into the Zarina, just to break your Gale Wing so that you can click Brave Bird the following turn. Alright, Delphox is going to Mega here, and we are actually going to see that the Lopunny does not leave the field. We see Dual Wing Beat, but that is going to be blocked by Queenly Majesty. Close Combat comes out. It does a lot to Delphox. Honestly, Flare Blitz plus Close Combat might have been enough. Okay, it was a critical hit. I was about to say maybe Lopunny is scarier than I gave it credit for. Psychic does come out. I mean, Lopunny is a scary Pokemon, but like that was insane damage. I was about to be like, I need to add this Pokemon to my team ASAP. Nothing is worse than landing only one Triple Axle, yeah. Alright, Trop Kick comes out. Talonflame is now online. It can now finally start attacking in front of this this Zarina. Hi, I'm back, but I don't plan on playing the tournament. Do you have any tips on team building? I'm having trouble with that. My first tip with team building is if you're trying to build... The question is, are you trying to build around a Pokemon, or are you trying to build a solid team in general? Because for both of those questions, I think the answer is you go and look at reference of how other people have been doing well with teams. So, like, if you're like, I really, really want to build a Mega Lopunny team, I would go on Limitless and I'd start looking at teams with Lopunny that have been doing well. And then I'd say, okay, I like this, I'm going to try this. and then you play with that and you modify to suit your needs. So you're like, okay, this Lopunny team's good, but I don't like that it's got no answer to priority. So you add like Farigiraf or you add Zarina and you make changes. Because in this community, in this scene, as long as you're like giving credit for where you started, no one really cares if you borrow concepts or ideas. So that's what I say with team building, where you should start. All right, hi. Finish round 3 in like 10 minutes and just got a no-show. LOL. I'm sorry. That's rough, Hunter. They might show up in a second, so I guess just give them a second to check in, and if they don't, then whatever. The Super Hyper Beam comes out from Sylveon, nukes this Zarina, and now Talonflame and Sylveon are facing down Delphox and Whimsicott. Yeah, I was a few seconds late for the start of the round. Trey, if you did not make it to the start of the round, just call the judge and I can reset you. Let's just reset it. Trey, I'm just gonna reset your match. You guys can still play. Oh, they haven't responded. Well, do you think Casty's anti-meta team featuring Mega Glamora and Alolan Ninetales is still strong anti-meta team going forward? I mean, it seems decent. I kind of want to do a monotype run of Scarlet. That sounds fun. What I say to that is like it seems like it's strong. Pokemon is cyclical, so teams that were good will become good again. So just wait. If it's not good right now, keep playing and it will become good. Alright, Alright. Steven sees that he doesn't have enough resources left to beat Fredward, so he does end up deciding to scoop it. Alright, Trey, if they don't show up, then you can just give them the win, I guess. But if they do show up, I reset your match, so they should be able to play. Okay, so we see Mega Crab and Vivian versus Sleeping Sableye. Arch has been felled. We see Arch is down. We don't know who's in the back outside of Pelipper. It is Kleavor. Kleavor is a strong Pokemon into Crabominable, but notably, that Vivian probably has either Scarf or Rage Powder, which means that Crabominable probably will be able to get an attack into Kleavor before Kleavor gets an attack into it. And Crab is scary. Never mind, Vivian comes back out. Torkoal comes in. I wonder what the idea is here. I guess if Trick Room is up, then... We see Stoneaxe come out. Completely does not care about this Crab. Says, you know what, whatever. Crab's not going to do anything to me. Stones land on the side of Umar. Ice Hammer comes out. It's going to miss. A bold play that goes really, 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 really poorly for Umar. Honestly, like, I respected the play, but, like, that went sideways very quickly. Yeah, well, we'll play if they show, but I was late, so it might be. Yeah, I'm glad that you're being a fair player in this situation, Trey. I kind of... Yeah, Ghost or Fire would be cool. Oh, maybe I was disrespecting Crab. I was going to say, I thought Crabominable would take a lot more from that. Ice Hammer obliterates this Kleavor. The only thing is that it's basically Crab versus the world, though, is the real problem here. Because Torkoal is low. Torkoal is very low. And also, like, this Pelipper is going to be able to Hurricane pretty freely. And Vivian is about to get knocked out by the rocks. And I think that the rocks will knock Torkoal out on entrance, too. So, Sun's not coming back up. The sun will not shine again on this Crab. I think that the Crab is one turn too late. We'll have to see. Maybe there's a chance. Both players are thinking. Crab uses Protect. Sableye uses Encore. We're going to see a Heat Wave come out and break a potential Sash. I think that the only... Oh, wait. Encore is going to make it so that Crab is going to be locked into Protect. So I think that this game is locked. Crab's move is no longer disabled. I guess we're going to see... I'm assuming it was Mach Punch that got disabled, right? We will see. Crab retreats. Vivian comes in. Vivian goes down. The Stone Axe is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. Hurricane goes into Torkoal or Disable. Oh no, Torkoal! Torkoal's gotten caught by the blender. Hurricane goes into Torkoal. It's all going so poorly for this little turtle. I like to think that these fights go at a much faster pace in my head. I'm sure they do. I'm sure it's like in canon, I'm sure it's like bam, 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 done. Or they're like dodging multiple hurricanes instead of just a singular hurricane, you know? I'm trying to see how Umar gets through this, and I think that the way they do that is by doing double protect. In double protect, rain runs out, Mach Punch to avoid Encore disable. Well, you can't avoid disable. It's over. Umar's playing to the best of their ability, but here comes the hurricane. And I don't think Crab survives that. Yep. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna check out this one. Okay. So Mega Delphox is already down. It looks like we're entering into like the end game of the battle here. Sylveon and Talonflame have also gone down, and we're seeing Basculegion in the face of Zarina and Primarina. A lot of Inas on Sacred Fire VGC's team. Triple Axel comes out. It's going to do a lot of damage. It does not remove this Zarina, which is crazy. The problem here, though, is that like if Basculegion didn't attack it, that's going to be a free Trop Kick into either Pokemon. Trop Kick into Basculegion is enough to remove it, and now Lopunny has to take on not one, not two, but 3 Pokemon on its own. And with no spread moves available, honestly, that had to have been a roll that looked super, super close. Also, are Lopunny's feet going through the floor? Or is this just... Oh no, it's just got little tiny feet. It's got Ugg boots on. Close combat into Primarina. Just to send a message. Primarina also survives! And now these two girlies are about to beat up this bunny. Drop kick into Moonblast. We won't even see who's left. This bunny is about to be blown up. Bye-bye. Alright, good playing for both players. Honestly, with just a little more attack, both of those attacks could have been rolls. Like, they were so close to going down, it looked like. Well played by both players. Alrighty. We're gonna check out... We're checking out Dry Bridge again. We're gonna check out... Unless that was... Are these two going into game 3s now? Or am I crazy? Let me see... Oh, that is... What am I talking about? We're going into game 3. Actually, yeah, I want to see Lopunny Game 3. I'm really curious how this goes. Okay. So we jumped in late, but what we did see is that Delphox was brought and taken out in the early game of that game. The other thing to note is that Zarina has come to every single game, which has made it really difficult for this Talonflame player, Fredward, to deal with it, because Zarina is one of those Pokemon where it's like, I can't click Brave Bird, which is one of my best moves, into you. So it's been extremely frustrating for them, I'm assuming, because while they do get speed control, they get it at the cost of not being able to attack with one of their Pokemon. With that said, the Lopunny only has fighting and ice type moves. The ice deals with Garchomp, Zarina, and Whimsicott really nicely, and potentially Sneasler, but it really struggles to deal with the Delphox. Honestly, all the Pokemon outside of the Basculegion have a really hard time dealing with the Delphox. I guess Dragonite could do well into it. Is this regular or Mega Dragonite? It is Mega Dragonite, so we could see a potential switch up on how it's being played. Maybe the bunny stays at home for a little more bulk. Let's see. We're going to see Talonflame Basculegion this time. And Whimsicott and Sneasler. Okay, so Basculegion is a really strong Pokemon into Sneasler, and Whimsicott is looking pretty threatened by this Talonflame. It would not surprise me if we see a switch in from Zarina. We saw it on turn 1 of Game 1. The question, though, is, like, Sacred Fire VG had showed that on Game 1, and it's like, hey, do you call my bluff this time? Do you think I'm going to do it again? Fredward is kind of positioned here where it's like, am I going to fall for the same trick twice, or am I going to be bold and really punish them for making them think that I won't make the same move more than once? Alright, let's see how this turn plays out, though. Talonflame can pretty freely click... Actually, I was going to say it can freely click Tailwind here, but the thing is it can't really freely click Tailwind here, because it's facing down the Sneasler, which has Fake Out Pressure. Sneasler does retreat. Primarina enters the battlefield. And the question is, did we see Protect or did we see Tailwind? We see a Tailwind from Whimsicott, followed up by a Tailwind from Talonflame. And then the question is, what did this Basculegion go for? Basculegion went for Liquidation into Primarina. If we saw a defense drop, it would have been... Oh, we do see a defense drop. That might change this game quite a bit, because I have to imagine that the defense drop is going to put it in range of a different attack. This is a Focus Sash Adaptability Basculegion. I think that the question here now is, does Brave Bird go into Primarina? And the other question is, did you leave your Mega Delphox at home? Because if it's a Brave Bird, it probably potentially picks up in Primarina with the -1 defense. The other question is, would Last Respects do it from this range? Or would you go for the potential double up? You could also just leave that Primarina alone and say, you know what, I don't need to do this right now, I can do it later. We know the other Pokemon is Sneasler. So there is the potential to just say, you know what, my Basculegion is too important, I want to keep it for later. Instead, we see Talonflame retreat in favor of Archaludon. We see Primarina Protect. It's too tempting of a target. What do we see this Basculegion do? We see a Moonblast from Whimsicott. Is it going to do more than half? It's going to do just a little less than half. Basculegion's going to go for a Last Respect. And we are going to see Archaludon with Choice Scarf enter the battlefield. So now this Archaludon is the fastest Pokemon on the field. It has Thunderbolt pressure, it has Flash Cannon pressure. I am Northwestern, Lost Elite. How did you know? Is it the accent? Or sorry, Northwestern. I'm Midwest. RNG giveth, RNG taketh. So true. I'm a Michigander. Okay, so now Whimsicott's pretty threatened by Flash Cannon. I don't know if it'll go down in one, especially because it might just be Focus Sash. Let me double check on that. It is Focus Sash, so it's not going down. That's Northwest for me. Okay. Alright, Primarina doesn't even go down to a Thunderbolt. It lives with just a little bit of health. The Citrus Berry is going to go off. The question is, did they double it up to be secure? Alright, Moonblast goes into Arch. It's a sizable amount of damage, but not all of it. Liquidation goes in, they follow up. They don't want to risk Primarina getting out of control, and Primarina goes down. We do see that Arch is now locked into Thunderbolt. Talonflame still has full HP as far as I know. Sneasler has Fake Out Pressure on the board. And the Hounds have been released. Okay. So now this Whimsicott is kind of like, hey, I kind of have to stick more damage into this Basculegion. I don't want to let it get out of control. I think the follow-up of Dire Claw plus Moonblast probably would be enough to pick up Basculegion. It would at least be close. I really wanted to run Throat Spray Primarina. Sorry, while your dogs have an accent too. Technically, they're my girlfriend's dogs, so she would have given them the accent. The Houndooms have arrived, so true. Okay, so now the question is, what do we see happen on this turn? Do we see an offensive play from Sacred Fire because it's their final turn of Tailwind, or do we see some repositioning here? Alright, Fake Out does come out, but it's into the Basculegion. It must have been a timeout there. Thunderbolt goes into the Sneasler, does about half. Another one won't pick up. Moonblast goes into this Basculegion. I have to imagine Basculegion probably is going into the Sneasler to remove it from the battlefield. It does connect and Sneasler goes down. It is a critical hit. I do not know that that mattered. And now it is a 2 versus 4. But with that said, Tailwind does end for the other side of the field, and if this final Pokemon has enough gas in the tank, it might be able to remove everything. Alright, so we see it is Delphox. This Basculegion can probably click like an Aqua Jet or something into it. The question is, like, maybe could you go for a Tailwind plus the Heat Wave? Would that be enough? Also, do you just ever protect your Delphox and use Moonblast and Heat Wave? There's a lot of questions that could be answered here. There is no correct answer. Whimsicott does have Sash, so you do have at least one turn of leeway here. So the question is, what is going to happen? Alright, Delphox chooses to Mega Evolve. Hey, there's cheesecake for you in the fridge. Yes. It's from the bakery. I don't know how good it is. Delphox survives the Aqua Jet on just a little bit of health. We see a Thunderbolt into the Whims to break the Sash. No problem. Whimsicott gets paralyzed. The Paralyzer. Alright, Psychic connects into the Basculegion. And then we see Moonblast. Is it going to be enough to pick up this Archaludon? It is, but I think that it might already be too late. 2-2 could do nothing against Frigg Sylveon lead. Yeah, those are hard Pokemon to deal with. The question is, who's the final Pokemon? But the other thing to worry about here is, like, I think that because you've taken the Aqua Jet, you're already in too bad of a spot because I think that you just get picked off by the Brave Bird from Talonflame. I think that Fredward has found his line to win this game, but the question is, maybe there is a world where you can click at Moonblast or something into it, you can dodge an attack with Whimsicott, you can remove that Brave Bird priority off of this Talonflame, and find a way towards victory. The other thing to note is that Mega Lopunny does naturally outspeed Delphox, so there is a world where you just click Tailwind and just let that Lopunny fly into the Delphox. I don't know that you go down to a single Moonblast, but I'm not entirely sure. If I go 3-2, I will be very happy. Honestly, 2-2 is pretty good. The tournament has a lot of really competitive people, Jack, so I wouldn't feel too bad if you have a 2-3 finish as well. I've definitely been there before. Alright, so we see Lopunny Mega. It is a Protect from Delphox. Fake Out goes into the Delphox. We see Dual Wing Beat into Whimsicott. It hangs on with just a little bit of health, but that's enough, and it is going to go down. And I think with the priority Dual Wing Beat plus Lopunny's speed outspeeding Delphox, I have a hard time believing that this Delphox can bring it home. But, you know, miracles do happen. Maybe they're invested differently. Dual Wing Beat can miss. Hey, I know you. Alright, and that is the end of that game. Good game to both players. They played it really well. It was a hard set. Alright, let's see. Who else is playing? We can check in on Umar and Zach. You're in the goated sketch tours. I don't I am not familiar with what those are. Okay. So we're gonna hop in. This is probably gonna be pretty late into their set. Alright. Okay, so we're seeing again, it's crab gaming time. Alright, Torkoal retreats. Sylveon enters the battlefield. The idea here is probably preserving this Torkoal so you can get Sun later. We see a Disable go off into this Crabominable. It lost the ability to click Drain Punch, which is one of its stronger moves. It goes for the Ice Hammer, decides to remove this little gremlin from the field, and now it is looking like it is this bridge versus the world. But honestly, that's kind of one of the Pokemon that you want to have as your final Pokemon standing against 3 others. I'm so mad, LOL. Why would that be? I was trying to move my browser window over and it snapped on my monitor, so my desktop completely gridded out. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. Alright, so Sylveon does survive that. Archaludon can't be Drain Punched anymore. Honestly, it might just get out of control. I think, depending on how many boosts it has, a Flash Cannon might just remove this Crabominable. Alright. Crabominable does not have access to Drain Punch anymore. Do they have... Okay, Crabominable retreats. The sun goes up. The sun will shine again on this crab. Did they ever use Cleaver to get Stone Axe off? It does not look like it. Flash Cannon connects into Sylveon. It will remove it. And now it is Torkoal and Crab versus the bridge. Drain Punch is back online. Does this Torkoal have Helping Hand? Let's see. Okay. Alright, Archaludon protects. Crab goes for Drain Punch. Are they in Trick Room? I don't think they are. I think the idea is like, hey, maybe I can stall out sun turns here. There are only 3 turns of Sun left. The thing is, though, is like, I don't think that you can remove both Torkoal and Crab, and they're just too much damage between the 2 of them. Alright. We'll have to see. Can Crab bring it home? Alright, Flash Cannon launches off into the crab. It does not survive. I had too much faith in this crab, I guess. There is a world where that Protect ends up being enough. Does this Eruption pick up? It does pick up. Okay, the little turtle did have enough to bring it home. Alright, and that is the end of that game, which we are getting very, very close to the end of our tournament here. We have 1 set left, but it is looking like, let's see, I'm pulling it up. That was the 18th out of 18 games, so we are going to finish that one up, and we are going to go to our final set of this tournament. No Crab Rave. The crab, the crab died a valiant death, and that death was enough to, to bring him to the next set. He won, but he was not alive to see it happen. Alright, we're going to tell the good people that tournament... Oops. Our next round is up. Okay, cool. We're going to make a room. So if anyone wants to be streamed, they can join the room. That one worked out nicely because the final people of the tournament did end up being in our room, so... Alright, cool. Alright, so currently, Ally and John V are currently undefeated. Also, Queer Crocodile and Juneberry are undefeated, so we currently have 2 4-0s. There's going to be a tie, like there's going to be someone that is 5-0 and gets second, so that is pretty crazy. We'll have to see. We got a few people in this lobby. Been such a hype tournament so far. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Meg. It means a lot. No cut. We're not going to do a cut. No, we usually just do 5 sets. It's 5 sets of practice. It's a resistance determined winner, correct. You know, Crocodile, the thing is if you don't win the tournament, your sauce gets to stay under wraps for a little bit longer. Like, people will be like, oh, they only won 3 tournaments, not 4 tournaments or 5 tournaments. Let's see. Okay. Ultimo and Hunter were the first ones that I saw that were ready to go. So we're going to go against... I like Honda Civic. People already used my 6. You're famous. Oh, okay. We get Hunter and Ultimo. We see that this is the Expanding Force team versus a Sun team. So it was very cool. I will say it's cool you can host rooms to make spectating easier. Yeah, it is cool. I really enjoy it. People already hit... It is a weird feeling when people use your 6, because it's like, I did that, I created that, but then you're also like, but that's my baby. The other thing, too, is normally when you build a team, you're building it for your own preference and playstyle, so it's like, people can take your 6, but they also might not do as well with it, because it might not suit how they like to play. Also, I'm just thinking, I made that. Gosh, this team sucks to play against. My team I liked playing against. I was like, I know the inside of all egg player brains. I see my old car retired and started battling. That's good. I like that. Okay. So we are going to see the Expanding Force lead without the Expanding Force user. So we have Chimecho and Meowstick versus Torkoal and Sylveon. The thing here to note is that Chimecho will become a Steel type if it Megas, which will then make it do... it will then have the ability to take super effective damage from this Torkoal. The question, though, is can these 2 Pokemon remove a Torkoal? Because Torkoal is known for having great physical defense. It is not known for having great special defense. So I think the double up of both Chimecho and Meowstick would probably be enough to remove Torkoal. We see Chimecho make a strategic retreat. We see Sylveon just say, you know what, let's go for Helping Hand. Let's go all in on this turtle, baby. Meowstick goes for Fake Out into the wrong Pokemon. Sylveon has already helped its hand. And we see a giant Heat Wave do massive damage into both Pokemon. I think it's going to be hard to get Trick Room up, and the other question is, do you even want it up after that? Alright. We can see Expanding Force go up. We do know that this Meowstick has the ability to click Psychic Terrain, and if that Farigiraf outspeeds Torkoal and Sylveon, I have to imagine that Expanding Force from Farigiraf, if trained correctly, would do a lot of damage. So we'll have to see what this player decides to do. But notably, Sylveon can definitely outspeed Farigiraf, so it could go this turn could go any which way. Alright, we do see Psychic Terrain go off. The battlefield got weird. Hyper Voice goes off, unfortunately. It's not enough mileage here. That Sylveon is going to outspeed that Farigiraf. And Torkoal's probably going to click another Heat Wave. Or Eruption. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that turtle is bringing the heat. Yeah. The nice thing about facing off against a Trick Room team is your Trick Room Pokemon look really, really good sitting in it. Alright, so we do see the Mono Psychic 4 have been brought. Notably, it's going to be really, really, really difficult. Yep, only 5 rounds tonight, Jemison. Also, good year, Jemison. Okay, so the question here is, will Expanding Force plus whatever Chimecho chooses to do be enough to remove these two Pokemon? And then after that, do we have enough gas in the tank to deal with the Pokemon that come up after? Because, like, I have to imagine that, like, if we see a Hyper Voice come out from Sylveon, and then we see a follow-up attack come out from Torkoal, and we see, like, Chimecho or Venus, or sorry, not Chimecho. If we see Typhlosion or Venusaur or Weavile or Charizard, all of those are Pokemon that are super, super scary for the two Pokemon on the side of the field. And my round 5 didn't show. Sad I only got 3 matches with the team, but they were all close. I'm sorry, Trey. That's rough. Alright, Flash Cannon comes out. It does a significant amount of damage. GG's to everyone for playing, and thanks for hosting, Parker. Of course. Anytime, Trey. Alright, Expanding Force comes out. Is it enough to remove Torkoal? It is. We see a double knockout, and Hatterene does have full health. Oh, that was scary. Or wait, did we see Hyper Voice come out? Am I crazy? I never really play Trick Room teams, so it's so funny to see so many Slowmons on the field and in their turn order. Yeah. Oh gosh. This is not the lead you like to see if you are the Chimecho Hatterene player. The thing to note is, like, if you can get Trick Room up, you probably win. But how do you get Trick Room up in the face of Charizard and Venusaur? I think that, like, you kind of... Okay. There is a world where you, like, if they click Heat Wave, they can miss, right? Chimecho is always beating Venusaur in a 1v1 situation, but the question is, how do you get Chimecho into a 1v1 situation versus Venusaur? I have to believe that Charizard probably will survive an Expanding Force. So I think, like, the solution here is, like, you either protect Chimecho or Hatterene, and you just bank on one of them dodging Heat Wave. Or Sludge Bomb comes out. It does survive. Can we dodge a Heat Wave? No. We cannot. GG. They played it really well, though. Like, honestly, I don't think there were any buttons they could have pressed differently at the end of that game. But it was hard. And you did get to see the power of Expanding Force, because there was one turn where they just got to completely wipe the board. Honestly, well played by both players. It was... that was difficult. Alright, let's see. We're going to check in on Umar versus Meta. Alright. Alright, so Umar versus Meta is the Crab team versus the the Bridge team. Click Trick Room on both, expecting one dodge, and then get a double dodge. Easy. Yeah, get the double dodge. And then both recast Trick Room, and then, yeah. Alright, so we saw Helping Hand. What do we see come out from them? We see Light Screen. Normally these Sableyes are running Roselli Berry, because Sableyes' only weakness is Fairy type. Does it have Roselli Berry? It does. Light Screen is up. I have to imagine it will take this. It does. It cannot take a follow-up. We've seen Sinestra's already gone down on the opponent's side of the field. Archaludon is looking... It's at half. Trick Room has ended. The question is, does this Archaludon have any stacks? It does have a stack. I don't know if a single stack is enough to remove Sylveon. We see a Rain Dance come out. Maybe the idea here is like, hey, I can click Electroshot, get a +2 Electroshot, and blow something up. They do click Electroshot. Is it going to be enough? +2 Electroshot, fires off into Farigiraf. It does remove it, which will give the Sableye the ability to click things like Disable. We did not see Helping Hand. We do see a Yawn. A pretty good play, saying, you know what, Archaludon, you're going to have to switch out. You can't just get away with being this big bully of a bridge. And Sableye not known for being that offensive of a Pokemon. And we see Torkoal come out. The nice thing here is, like, we can't we can assume that Rain Dance will come out, and you can fire off an attack with either Pokemon and then just say, you know what? Like, yeah, my Arch might go to sleep. That's fine. Like, the question here is, like, do you launch another Yawn, or do you just let the Pokemon go to bed? There's definitely merit to both plays. We see Detect come out. Do we see a Protect come out from Torkoal? We do not. We see Rain Dance come out. And we see an Electroshock come out. Who is this into, though, is the question. I have to believe it's going into Torkoal. Yawn has got to be one of the most consistent animations in this game, always the little cloud. They do call the Protect on Sylveon. They fire off a giant Electroshot into Torkoal. Yes, this bridge is asleep, but I have to imagine that the Sableye probably is running Encore. I think we've seen this before. The bridge sleeps, but if you're locked into Protect, how are you going to get any mileage out of that? Alright, we'll have to see what the players decide to do. Sableye retreats, which leads me to believe they do not have Encore. Kangaskhan enters the field. Archaludon takes his little nap. Hyper Voice comes out. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but what this Kangaskhan is going to offer is Fake Out Pressure and letting this Archaludon get another chance to wake up. I hope it's good. I didn't try it. Just in the corner.
Is it all for me?
Yeah, it can be.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it from the other little bakery down the street. Yeah.
That's good.
I was testing it. I went to the bakery that did not have 100 cars in the parking lot, so I was like, maybe it's the underdog bakery.
Isn't it Dubai chocolate?
It is Dubai chocolate, yeah. Okay, that game is concluded. Let's see. We're watching Honda Civic versus Macaroni. The two potentially best names to come out of this tournament. Ugh.
What else did you get at the bakery?
What? I got just a regular slice of cheesecake. Yeah. Okay, so we see Farigiraf and Rhyperior. Trick Room is up for one more turn. They have lost... Honda Civic has lost both his Incineroar and his Vivillon. They have a Sneasler in the back that will be coming out next turn, and we will see the final and fourth Pokemon. It is Glamora. It's probably safe to assume we see a Protect this turn from both of these Pokemon, because they're both definitely threatened by Earthquake. The question is, what is the final Pokemon that Macaroni has brought, and can it deal with Sneasler and Glamora? Because Rhyperior is most likely getting doubled into the following turn. Alright, Glamora goes for a Mega Evolution. If it has Protect, it probably clicks it this turn. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, we see Farigiraf Protect. Oh, you know what? Trigger must have ended the following turn. That's what's going on. Or am I crazy? Alright. We see Spiky Shield. Is everyone protecting? Everyone's protecting. Damage is optional. We never need to click damaging moves. Alright, we see Earthquake from... Okay, that makes sense. Nobody wants to get hit by this Pokemon's Earthquake. But that's kind of a nothing happened turn, except for Trick Room has now concluded. But notably, Rhyperior did not protect. So it can protect this turn. Farigiraf did protect. They can double it, but if they double it, they're both going down to Earthquake. So the question is, do you double the Farigiraf or do you double the Rhyperior? And it looks like the answer is you double the Rhyperior. Did we split our damage here is the question. White Herb goes off on Sneasler. There were no protects. Earth Power. That Rhyperior is too much of a threat. Cannot get left unchecked. It has gone down. Farigiraf is going to go for what move? Trick Room goes up. Now, the question is, who is this final Pokemon? If it's Torkoal, there is a chance that honestly, the game's not over, but it is looking pretty scary for both players. Will Honda Civic run over Macaroni, or will Macaroni destroy the interior of the Honda Civic? You're asking the real questions, Meg. I'll take a bite. How is it? Good.
It's not the best Dubai chocolate thing ever, but it's still pretty good. It's still cheesecake, so it's still good.
This is better than the one I had.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Alright, Torkoal has Earth Power. Glamora has been destroyed. Macaroni will be destroying the Honda Civic. I have to imagine that this is a psychic follow-up. And bye-bye, Sneasler. The macaroni will come out on top. That's me, LOL. I mean, macaroni will be poured into the gas tank of the Honda Civic. I guess so. Okay. Well, macaroni at least won that round. We'll have to see. Is that the conclusion of their set? It does not look like it, so... Well, they'll have to see what happens. We're gonna check in on Zach versus Soren. Alright. So, Sableye's been burned. Frostlass is in the back, but it's been paralyzed. Archaludon and Talonflame sit in front of Basculegion and Sableye, but Tailwind is up. I have to imagine that this Sableye has Thunder Wave, so it probably has forms of speed control. It is. I will take 3-2 for my second time here. Congratulations, Jack. That's a good record. Tournament was great. Thanks for hosting. I'm glad you guys are having fun. We'll be back next Monday, too, so... yeah, it's coming to a conclusion. We're...
You're doing it on Memorial Day.
I don't know, actually. Maybe we won't be back next Monday. To be decided. I don't have plans on Memorial Day yet. Alright, Dueling Beat connects into Sableye. It's not enough to take it down. We've got two bridges facing down against each other. The bridge... I've always thought the bridge kind of looks like a staple remover. You had a great time. Thank you for hosting. Of course. Let's see. Okay. Electroshock fires into Archaludon. Actually does decent damage into it, which is crazy. Thank God for Anti-Trick Room. If you run Anti-Trick Room, you gotta run in Prison Trick Room. That's the real Anti-Trick Room. Alright, Sableye gets hurt by its burn. There are how many turns of Tailwind on? One last turn of Tailwind. We saw Electroshock did a lot of damage. And basically, any move that's not Electroshock probably will remove Archaludon. Sorry, any move that's not resisted by Archaludon will probably remove it. There's a chance that Electroshock could potentially do enough. It's an electronic staple remover. It basically is. It looks like the little, you know, staple removers. Okay, Sableye's sitting here. It's burned. We have 3 turns of Rain left and a Basculegion in the back. At some point, Frostlass will come back in and end the rain, though. Alright. We see Protect from Archaludon. What do we see from Sableye? Encore. He says, keep on charging those moves up. I like that play because you know that there's Frostlass in the back. It's like, you can't do this forever. You cannot keep clicking Electroshot. There will come a time where it's going to be bad for you to click that move. Alright, but another +1 is another +1, so... This bridge is going to be really, really difficult for our other trainer to remove. And now, honestly, I think that Archaludon might be in range of just Electroshot. Because it's going to have +2 compared to the last time it was hit. Tailwind does end. I guess if that Talonflame was not at full health, which to me means that it might be in range of getting taken out by... okay. If it's not at full health, it's going to be taken out by Basculegion. It is not at full health, which means that it cannot get another Tailwind up. So you're put in this awkward position where it's like, you either have to expose your 4th Pokemon here, or you have to give me your Talonflame. Because you can't bring in Frostlass, because Frostlass is going to turn off your Electroshot, which you are now encored into. Which is Sableye's parting gift. Alright, but Electroshot, I have a hard time imagining will not remove... Like, it's gotta remove this Basculegion, right? Electroshot fires off, it lands in Basculegion. Basculegion is down, and that's gonna bring our trainer here down to their final other Pokemon. Their Dragon Pulse connects into Archaludon. Oh, Dragon Pulse misses! How did that happen? Did we have a... Muddy water accuracy. Is this bright powder? Is that what's happening? Do we have bright powder on our Archaludons nowadays, people? We live in a world where bright powder Archaludon might be a thing. We live in a dangerous world. Following up your cheesecake with crackers and cheese. Salty and sweet. I don't know. I think it has to be bright powder because we didn't see this Archaludon take any accuracy drops. That's the only way I can think of that you would dodge a Dragon Pulse. Or there's some sort of extreme plot armor happening to this character. This tournament goer. Gross. It is gross. It's gotta be bright powder, right? Alright, close combat. Does not land. To protect is called correctly. We see Earth Power. This time it does land. And it does remove the Archaludon. But now it's gonna have to be Venusaur and Archaludon versus paralyzed Frostlass. I guess it really depends on how much health this Frostlass has remaining. This is for you in chat. Do you think Pokemon is the most complicated turn-based game out there, especially with the meta changing, even in the same reg, just because of an anti-meta picks? It's definitely a complicated game. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can say it's definitively the most complicated game, because I haven't played every single game in existence, but it's complicated. It's evolving. I don't know how much things like chess evolve over time. Chess is another complicated game, but I guess the thing is, like, the way I like to compare it to people is, like, Pokemon is a game where you get to bring your own chess pieces, which is where I find a lot of joy in it, because it's always changing and growing and adapting. Alright, anyway, focusing on this game now. If other people want to message about that, they totally can. Sneasler takes an Earth Power, survives it. This Archaludon, we're going to have to see if it's faster than a paralyzed Delphox. It is. It launches a Flash Can... Or not Delphox, Frostlass. It survived. Both these Pokemon survive, which means I think Blizzard's coming out. It does. To me, it's looking like, hey, this Frostlass has to get full paralyzed for you to have a chance to be in this game. I ran it on Mimikyu when I first seasoned. It was so funny. You ran what on Mimikyu? Of Bright Powder. I do think Bright Powder is a good on Pokemon that stay in the field for a long time. Love it on Cine. Yeah, I don't think Bright Powder is bad, but when you lose to Bright Powder, or when Bright Powder dodges something and you don't know it's coming, you're just like, oh, this feels so bad. Alright, Sneasler launches a Dire Claw. Venusaur lives with 10 HP. Earth Powers. It connects into Sneasler. The only question here is, does this Frostlass get full paralyzed? If it does, then this Venusaur will outspeed it and be able to take it out. The Blizzard connects, and that is going to be the end of Venusaur. A very close game. Honestly, one more attack would have been the difference maker. And there, just for the record, there was an attack that was missed by that Bright Powder. So people can't sit here and tell you that Bright Powder is not good, because it can swing games. Crocodile, I'm sorry that your streak has been broken. You did enter a pretty chaotic tournament. PokePals usually has like a lot of really random Pokemon. Obviously, you're a strong player though. To get to the like top 4, it's incredible. So, congratulations. Bright Powder and Quick Claw are both so troll to include in the first season of the game. Yeah, they had to show new players that like, hey, this game is chaotic and it will break you. Alright, so jumping into this game, it looks like we're at the end here. We see Kangaskhan staring down Farigiraf and the Crab. Is Trick Room active? Trick Room's not active. Crab is at -3 speed. But I also kind of question, like, I don't think Kangaskhan can break Crabominable. So I feel like Crab is probably just going to break Kangaskhan. Like, regardless of speed. You can also click, like, Helping Hand Mach Punch, and I think 2 Mach Punches do it. But probably Helping Hand Drain Punch will probably just do it in 1. We're going to have to see a crit from Kangaskhan, I imagine. And even then, I don't know if it's enough. Oh, I didn't see Bridge. There's just a hidden Archaludon behind Crab's giant fist. So I'd say that this match is really, really in a different spot than I thought it was before. Okay, so Drain Punch comes out, connects into the Kangaskhan. Wait, there's not a bridge. That bridge did not exist. It only existed on the screen for a second. I swear it was there. Pokemon just gaslit me. There was never a bridge. Don't worry about it. I think someone already had citrus and leftovers used on their team, so they put Bright Powder on their Tinglu, and when they said it basically gave the Tinglu 10% more bulk, it made a lot of sense. That's funny. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Bridge got punched into the Shadow Realm, apparently. Okay, are we wrapped up? Is that our final one? 13 out of 16. We have a few people that are wrapping up, it looks like. We're going to jump over to... What says Umar and Mother? Did they finish? I think that... What the heck was that bridge glitch? Yeah, I don't know. It was a glitch. I think I've seen it happen one other time in spectator mode. Archaludon just kind of wanted to say hello. He just wanted to be like, hey, I did exist at one point. Let's see. He said, don't forget about me. Oh. Could you tell me to go attack? If she wants to... She's like, she missed you. Okay. Alright. Is that the final one? We have one last game that is going on. Let's jump over to the final game. Once this one concludes, we will be done with our tournament. We will announce our winner. And then I'm going to go to bed. Hopefully everyone's been having fun. Honestly, it's been really nice. You guys have shown me a lot of love tonight, so it's been very, very fantastic. So thank you. Let's see. If you do want to join the tournaments in the future, I do host them on Mondays. And this is going to be our last game. Let's check it out. The remnants of the Bright Powder Bridge. He was just like pixie dust. Yeah. Okay, so we're jumping in on the final set, our final game of a Charizard X team. It looks like they've sacrificed Charizard X for the Delphox. Sneasler and Incineroar are here. Ryan hasn't revealed his fourth and final Pokemon. Ace has sacrificed their Delphox, but it looks like they still have an Aerodactyl in the back. And does that Aerodactyl have the ability to Mega? It does not. It is a Focus Sash Aerodactyl, and this is a Choice Scarf Basculegion. So this is kind of a scary turn because depending on if this Sneasler's used Close Combat, it's not. It basically, Sucker Punch is really threatening this Basculegion, but you can click Aqua Jet. Close Combat would threaten this Kingambit, but you could Sucker Punch the Sneasler instead. There's a lot of mind games happening at play here. This is such a great service you do for the community, and I love seeing it grow every week. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I didn't realize that streaming was going to be such a fun little thing to do on Mondays, so I'm glad that everyone's been enjoying it. Alright. The mind game at play here was like, hey, you know what? I think you're going to Sucker Punch my Basculegion. And that was correct, so they call it correctly. Dire Claw goes into Muggsy the Incineroar, brings it down to Citrus Berry, it heals up, does it get status? It does not. Close Combat fires off into the Chople Berry Kingambit, and it's going to survive with 37 HP, probably putting it right in range of Aqua Jet. But the thing is now this Kingambit's kind of threatening in a new way, where this Sneasler's definitely threatened by Sucker Punch. So the question is, how do we've gotten out of the frying pan and into the fire now, where it's like, okay, we won that turn, but can we win the next turn, and the turn after that, and the turn after that? Do you think they will ever mix and match gimmicks? They're almost certainly going to. In the trailer for Champions, they showed that terrestrializing and Megas were going to happen at the same time. So I don't know when, but it will happen probably. All right. So the idea here is like, hey, I'm going to call that you are going to swing at my Sneasler. So I'm going for Fake Out into your Nightcrawler. And they go for another Sucker Punch, and that one also fails. What about terrestrializing Mega Pokemon? I don't think they'll let you... Sorry, I have the hiccups. I don't think they'll let you double dip ever. I think it's going to be one or the other. Alright, so this King Gambit player is probably getting pretty frustrated because every single Sucker Punch has gone wrong for them. The question is, will they keep doing it? Alright, Incineroar switches out this time. Taco, the former Alpha, comes out. Alright, we see King Gambit protect. He's like, I don't care. I'm taking a break. I don't want to deal with these Sucker Punch mind games. We see a close combat come out from the Sneasler. It's not enough to pick up pick up Taco. The defenses are dropped. We see a flip turn. Flip turn does not come out into the right position, but with this, what it can do is now you can use fake out and flip turn into King Gambit and reposition again. Fake out plus flip turn should be enough to pick up King Gambit from here. And then it will be a 2v2 situation with Aerodactyl in the back for Ace and Incineroar in the back for Nightcrawler. And honestly, every single Intimidate is going to matter into this Sneasler because, like, Sneasler does not really like dealing with Basculegion. I think that I'd rather have Basculegion than deal with this. I'd rather have Basculegion in the matchup of. Okay, I cannot talk. I would rather be on the side of Basculegion and Incineroar than Aerodactyl and Sneasler, especially if that Sneasler's intimidated. King Gambit does flinch. Dire Cluck comes out into Sneasler. It's still not enough. It lives another hit. Flip turn comes out. And now we're going to see Incineroar come back in. You really can't beat a good Taco. Alright, Incineroar comes back in. It does not get the Intimidate into Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl does not have the ability to Mega. It does have the ability to click Fake Out this turn. Sorry, Aerodactyl doesn't. Incineroar has the ability to click Fake Out this turn. Nightcrawler is probably at minus what defense? It's at -1 defense, -3 attack. Honestly, like that Pokemon is doing basically 0 damage and is just trying to inflict status effects onto the Pokemon on Ryan's side of the field. A Fake Out plus Close Combat might, from Sneasler, might pick up other Sneasler. Aerodactyl kind of is in a position where it might benefit from clicking Protect here too. Yes, because it doesn't want to lose the chance to get its... Or it doesn't want to lose its Sash here. Alright, we see a Fake Out called correctly into Sneasler. Did they double it, though, is the question. They did not. They spread their damage. Honestly, a respectable decision. I'm starting a Mono-type run, Ghost-type run in Scarlet. I wish you luck, Leviticus. I hope you have a good time. Okay. Honestly, Rock Slide from Aerodactyl would be the thing that could potentially swing this game into Ace's favor. We know that it is... Oh, wait. It is Choice Scarf Basculegion on Ryan's side, so that means it will outspeed Aerodactyl. We see a Dire Cluck connect. Is it going to put it to sleep? That is the question. It does not. Rock Slide connects. How much does this do? It does a sizable amount, honestly, with Protect and another Dire Claw into the Sneasler, or with the Sneasler, there is a chance that Ryan can sneak this game back. We are going to intimidate them one last time and have more Fake Out opportunities, but, like, Ace was in a really, really rough spot, but is slowly inching it back. The thing is if Aerodactyl does not pick up the Basculegion, Basculegion can always just follow up with another Aqua Jet afterwards. So it's like either the fish goes down or it doesn't. There's no in between here. All right, Aerodactyl protects. Do we see a protect from Sneasler? Nope. We say, I know you called me last time. I don't think you're going to call me again. We see Aqua Jet come out. Aqua Jet is enough to pick up. Hey, Rickens, thank you for joining. What is sup? We are watching a tournament. I've been spectating and commentating on it. This is the final set of our tournament. We are seeing how this player is going to finish up. They have Aerodactyl versus Basculegion and Incineroar, and honestly, it's looking really rough for Ace, our Aerodactyl player here, because 2 Aqua Jets should just be enough, and I don't even know if Rock Slide will be enough to pick up this Incineroar. It definitely won't be if it doesn't connect. I wanted to join, but I had a flat tire on the way home. I'm sorry, dude. The good news is we will be back again in the future. So, almost had an echo there. All right, we see Will-O-Wisp come out just to kind of ruin this Aerodactyl's day. And that is looking like the end of our tournament. Will Ace play out the final turn, or will they decide that this is enough for me? That sounds rough. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the tire. That is rough. Looks like it was a great turnout tonight. Yeah, it was. I think we had like 60 people. It was a big one, or a decently big one. All right. And on that note, let's check out the final results of our tournament. That should be the final game. Let me see. Okay, oops, don't look at that. That's the wrong one. Why is it doing this? It's supposed to be doing this. Nope. Why is it doing that? It's supposed to be doing this. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, 16 out of 16 matches completed. We're going to end our tournament, and we are going to look at the results. The top 8 of our tournament were Allie, who used Venusaur and Mega Dragonite. Congratulations, Allie. This is our first place team out of, we had 55 people today. Then we had Juneberry, John V, Meta Knight, and Fredward, RPR 1020, Sharpie, and Queer Crocodile as our top 8. So we're going to make a post about those guys tomorrow morning. You can expect it, and we're going to put Allie in the Hall of Fame forever. So Allie, if you're part of our Discord, I will give you a tag that, or Ally, sorry. If you're part of our Discord, I'll give you a tag that shows that you've won a tournament. So congratulations to you. I hope everyone had a good time tonight. I know I did. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, press those buttons so that other people see the tournaments and we can have more people join our events. So I hope you all had fun. I know I did. Push-ups right now. I'll do 5. Hold on. Ready? 3, 4, and 5. There we go. There we go. Getting swole for you guys. All right. On that note, let's see. We got the subscribe for that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun with this one. I will push up for you guys anytime if you're giving me subscribers. So I will see you guys later. Have a great night, and we're gonna raid somebody. We're gonna raid Hosh and Josh. Thank you guys. Bye bye.